just jump right in.
Oh, baby.
So I had the show, I had it written, and then I had a bunch of people reaching out to me, be like, hey, can you do a public speaking engagement and do this? I'm like, well, I'm not really a public speaker, but I don't know, I've got this show that I wrote, and they're like, yeah, do that. And so I did it, like my first time I did it at a trade show in Lethbridge.
Killed it?
No, it was terrible.
No, really?
Bombed. Yes.
Okay, that's my biggest fear.
But you can't be scared of stuff, though. I mean, you just got to go do it. You know
Well,
what I mean?
Obviously, that's why we're here doing this.
Yeah, but it was not a really well known trade show, and I mean, Jeremy, if for some reason you're listening to this, I mean, you know I love you, but it was like just coming out of COVID, and this is the first time they just lifted restrictions last summer or whatever, and just they'd canceled the main show that they usually do there, and so Thanks for Farming swung in and tried to catch the show or whatever, and they just didn't get really great attendance, and Jeremy had booked me, and he's like, yeah, we're going to put you on at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
The trade shows.
Nobody's had a beer.
No.
You know what I mean?
Everybody's tired from lunch.
And
There's no lubrication.
Yeah, and I'm going to walk in, and I'm going to start cussing and swearing like a sailor and trying to be funny quick dick or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So whatever.
So was it your full hour show?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
At what point did you realize it was going over like
5
a lead
minutes
balloon?
in. 5
so
minutes
what did you do in that moment? Because
just powered through it.
We had this conversation on the way up here, and in my head I'm like, yeah, it's going to be like a Netflix special. Like I'm going to go out there and kill it. But then what if I get up there and I freeze? What do you do then?
Yeah, so the funny thing here is like, okay, so I go on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I go take the stage, and like nothing against any communities or religions or anything like that. It was all perfectly fine. But to get his attendance up at this show, the organizer of this show had actually power called like 50 Hutterite colonies in southern Alberta. And my debut moment on the stage is apparently a stand-up comedian was in front of 100 Hutterites. That were all like expecting a free hat or something.
Well,
you know
that
what I mean?
totally gave you even more material for the next show.
Yeah. So I go out there, and my first 5 minutes of this whole show is about like technology and Tinder and a whole bunch of different stuff or whatever, and it was just crickets. And I was like,
oh really?
Yeah. And so like I actively drink beer when I do my show or whatever. So
Yeah.
I just kept crushing beer, and worked through it.
Did you get funnier?
I think to myself I did, but no one else was laughing in the audience. And then when it was all over, the guy that had booked me to do this, he comes up to me later on. Actually, it was the next morning, and he's like, "Did anybody give you any reviews on your show yesterday?"
Oh.
I'm booked to do this like 2 days in a row there, or whatever. And I'm like, "No, nobody
And
really."
he's about to give you a review.
And I'm like, "No, nobody really told me anything about it." And he's like, I don't think you can make a go at this if this is what you're going to do. And I'm like, okay, so I do that exact same show in 3 hours from now here again. Thank you for the positive encouragement for me to take onto the stage with me or whatever, right?
Okay, I want to get a glimpse inside your brain when somebody tells
That's
you
a
that.
scary place.
Yeah, I bet. But like, okay, what goes through your mind then when someone's telling you, that sucked, you should never do it again, and you got to go on again?
Yeah, no, like I knew that my show would connect with people that I wanted it to connect with.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that audience there. And I was just like, okay, like I get it, but like I'm not going to do the same thing. Like you want me to come up with a new hour of material in 3 hours? Like it's not going to happen. So I'm just like, it kind of pissed me off a little bit to the point where I was just like, I'm just going to fucking do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, I'm going to really make them not like it. You know what I mean?
You're going to commit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many times of doing it before you said, okay, I'm comfortable doing this now. It's good.
So the very next time when I did it that afternoon,
Yeah.
like this trade show was just dead. And at 2:45, I went on at 3, but like I'd put out on all my social media that I was going to be there the previous day and that day. And it's like half of my following in Southern Alberta showed up for that show that afternoon.
Nice.
And I killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it was so good. And like immediately after the show, the guy that organized the event came up to me again. He's like, "You remember what I told you this morning?" I was like, yeah. He's like, "Forget it. Just forget it." Yeah. And it felt good there. But I think the one show that stands out in my mind where I was like, I am really, really comfortable doing this show was in Eston, Saskatchewan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it was like I'd booked it with the 4-H club. They were doing some fundraising there or whatever. And I walked in and I was like, this is a really awkward situation. It was like there was no dimming of the lights. It was like you were in a linoleum floor gymnasium almost kind of thing with tables all on one level. And I was like, this is going to be shitty.
No ambiance at all.
Yeah, like nothing, right? And I got there and I grabbed the mic and I don't know what was going on in Aston, but you could have heard a pin drop with everything that I was saying until I said something remotely close to anything that was a joke, and the place would just erupt.
No, really?
It was so cool.
They were just ready to laugh.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, when I was I kind of got a specific point where I like end my show, like standing ovation, and everybody went crazy, and I was like, wow, and like I felt really comfortable doing it, and. Since I've done it, different places, console. One that stands out is Indian Head, the Shelby Patton Memorial fundraiser. I did a show there for it at the Grand Theatre, which was built in 1904. It was one of the only opera houses between Vancouver and Ontario. Apparently, people on the prairies would go to watch operas there or whatever kind of thing. Really? And it was so cool. We got a little tour of the place, but it was the first one I'd ever done where I was like on an actual stage in a event center kind of thing or whatever, and everybody's just kind of watching you. And I don't know, I'm comfortable. I can do that stuff. I can, like, even here, I can just sit down and start talking with people and I'm fine. And I wouldn't act any different on stage than I am with you guys right now or whatever. Like, it's just, I'm just kind of me and I do my thing and people find that funny. I mean, but like,
it's authentic.
Yeah.
It's authentic.
Well, that's what we were talking about on the way up here. I'm like, I wonder what he's like not when he's on. But the Steve said he's probably the same.
Probably the
That's
exact same.
So, like, I describe, everyone asks me, like, who's Quick Dick? Are you Quick Dick kind of thing? I'm like, Quick Dick is me with just a little bit of spicy barbecue sauce on him. You know what I mean? I'm always goofing around. I'm always having fun. We're always joking around on the farm and whatnot or whatever. And like, I'm usually pretty, I run hot kind of thing. Like I'm always full of energy and having fun and doing my thing or whatever. And it's turned into this character kind of thing or whatever, right? Which is, I don't know. It's been fun. It's been neat.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you starting to feel like there's you and then there's your alter ego, or do you still feel like the same person?
Yeah, pretty much the same person most of the time. Actually, recently I've even calmed myself down a little bit of my own opinions and what I have for commentary on a few different things of what I would say to my family or my close friends or something in real life versus what I'll take to my online persona. Because you have a little bit of a responsibility when you're broadcasting to the amount of viewers and followers that I have now or whatever, that there's some things that you might feel inside that you should say. You're like, I really don't need to say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting. Extent. Like where you draw that line, because the more followers you get and the more people know who you are, the more they care what you're saying.
Yeah, that's right.
And I watched one of your videos the other day, and then you had a little talk after about how you felt about the trucker convoy.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was funny because it was like, you got serious for a second.
Yeah.
You were still Quick Dick.
Yeah.
But that was actually like your ideas being brought forward.
Yeah. It's a serious topic as far as I'm concerned. What's happening with the trucker convoy, right?
Well, let's take a sip before we talk about it.
I couldn't look at this beer anymore.
It's hard to get a word in with you this whole time. I'm just looking at my beer. I'm like, I want to listen to what you're saying, but I really want to taste that beer.
I've just been salivating this whole time.
Okay, so Farron, so if people don't know where we are, we're at the Dam Smokehouse.
The Dam Smokehouse in Nipawin, Saskatchewan.
A good friend of all of ours, actually.
Yeah, owned and operated by Farron Schofield and his family. And the thing about, we talked about this last week, the thing about Farron at the Dam Smokehouse is he's got nothing but Saskatchewan craft beer.
So good.
Yeah.
So we've got 4 of them here. We've got,
and he serves a lot of meat here too.
Lots of meat. He's a big meat guy.
Yeah, you guys like that meat, hey?
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't. Okay,
are we taking that out of context? Or?
No, that's in the literal sense.
Just wait till I get these beers in me.
Then the innuendo will be flying all over the place. Okay, so we got 4 beers. The first one is a white IPA from Pile of Bones in Regina.
Pile of Bones, Regina. Nice.
The next one is a tiramisu. Tiramisu? Is that like the
tiramisu? It's a dessert.
Is that like the dessert?
It's Valentine's Day, so
there you go.
I think we should start with that one.
That's from Blackbridge, and then we got the White Solstice from High Key Brewing.
Okay.
And then we got Wild Honey, and that's from Warman. Actually, that's Guy Chabot's kid. Guy Chabot's a farmer from Arborfield.
Okay, and I was saying to Farron before, it's like the names of all these craft beers are like the names of weed now. They're just off the wall. They don't make sense, but the cooler the name, the more you want to try the beer.
You know what? There's one that really made me want to try it. It was from Rebellion Brewing when they just came out with the one called Beer. And I was like, that's the one I want. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And was it amazing?
It was good. It was good beer.
It was just beer.
What I mean? Yeah, it's exactly what I would expect when I drink a beer.
Hilarious. Okay, so let's try one.
What are we doing?
I want to try the tiramisu because it looks dark as hell.
Are we sipping or are we shotgunning?
Well, how do you
Cheers.
Well, we'll chug.
Approach a flight?
We'll chug.
Are you
half.
chugging?
No. Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, it tastes like molasses.
It really does. Like I would pour this in the lick
oats.
tank for our cattle.
Pour it in the oats. That's what you do.
Pour it in the oats.
I actually have a little bit of farm experience.
All right.
I grew up on a farm. No experience from when I grew up on a farm.
All right.
But then I was married to a cowboy for a while, and he was a chuck wagon driver, so we had horses.
Married to a cowboy for a while. Those
Yeah.
marriages never last.
Yeah.
In and out like a fiddler's elbow.
But that's what they did. They'd pour this molasses type stuff in the oats, and it would make them want to eat it.
Yeah, straight up. Or you put it in lick tanks and whatnot or whatever. And yeah.
Okay, let's move
So
on.
I'd say this.
Let's move on. Steve doesn't like it.
Well, it's-
dessert does not belong in a beer. That's my personal opinion. but-
It's good.
I
It's
like
just-
that.
We're going to try another one.
Okay.
You pick one.
What are we going to?
You pick one.
Let's go with the Wild Honey Kolsch
Wild Honey Kolsch.
from
Okay.
Park Brewing.
Yeah.
You smell it too? Are you supposed to smell a beer?
See, that's good. That's
Yeah,
beer
that's
I can
better.
get behind. That's nice.
Yeah. Okay.
I will run through all of them. Can't drink.
I think we'll.
Or we're gonna do a review later, kind
Yeah.
of thing. Just keep going back and forth.
We got time.
We've now cracked into 2 of them, so I can sit here
I
and
kind of want
casually
to just
sip.
chug this one now. That's good. Okay, tell me about how you feel about the truckers, dude. What's going on?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens today. Actually, it sounds like Trudeau is going to invoke the Emergency Measures Act, which is like a connotation of the War Measures Act that has been renamed. And my opinion hasn't changed on it whatsoever. What's happening at Coots is not right. And I say that because I was actively against any pipeline protesters or rail blockaders, and I advocated for RCMP removing them off of railways and pipeline right-of-ways. And so, I mean, I would be a hypocrite if I were to say anything different because they're blocking very important infrastructure coming in and out of Canada. But when it comes to Ottawa, it's a different story. I mean, there's parts of it that have not been good, and there's parts of it that have been completely politicized and whatnot. And I think at the deep core parts of it, which is what I stated at the end of my video, is that there are people there that are just Canadians that are tired of what is being done to us as Canadians.
Yeah.
They're tired of government overreach, and I think we have a very huge failure of a federal government at the helm right now. And speaking candidly, our Canada is being managed by a bunch of children right now,
Yes.
and it needs to change. Now, whether the official opposition that we have is the right people to go in and take that over either, I don't know. Like I think we get some really big failures happening in politics right now, and I think this convoy has done one thing that I did not expect it to do was to expose the complete lack of aptitude that our government has. They cannot handle any situation that comes at them whatsoever. And now we have an uprising within a small fringe minority of our country, which has actually turned it to be a lot of people.
Okay, well, so I've heard that phrase a billion
Yeah.
times, small fringe minority, and they're
Yeah.
using it
Yeah.
as whatever.
It's their slogan now.
Yeah,
It's the slogan.
Yeah, it's been politicized, right? And that's the problem that I've seen with this goofball that runs our country time and time and time again, is that when it turns down to just dealing with average, everyday, regular Canadians, immediately you're a misogynist, you're a racist, you're an extremist, and that's really unfair.
Identity politics.
Yeah, and I think he's really starting to reap what he sows now with what he's done, and he's drove wedges between Canadians. I mean, trying to win elections by doing it, and I think a lot of that's going to start to come home to roost for him, and it's good. The fact that it was a group of truckers that brought it together and made it happen, I think is good.
Well, that's the interesting thing about this whole movement, right? Is that kind of like whatever side you're on, both sides are unified.
Yeah.
And we're sick of taking this shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that's the one good thing that I can see coming out of it is much more unity than we've seen in 2 years, in 20 years, in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think there's obviously some participants in the truck convoy that I do not support and do not agree with, and I don't think that they should be able to be considered a leader of this kind of thing. But that's no matter what kind of a uprising you have or a protest that you have, and that's what I said in my video too. There's always going to be people that are going to hijack it.
Some bad actors.
And you're going to have Antifa and a lot of these people coming through and trying to do different things to disparage everybody in it. And media is going to latch on to one part of it and try and broadcast that to the world or the nation kind of thing. And that's a really awkward phase that we're at, I think, as Canadians right now, is when you really have to filter what media you take in be it from legacy mainstream media or alternative media, which there's a lot of too, because lots of people will just say, I'm never watching the CBC again and I'm only going to watch Rebel News or something like that.
Well, I feel like people don't know what to watch now. They don't know where to get their news because everything's fake news. You can't trust anything. And that's part of the problem. You used to be able to trust or think you could trust the mainstream media.
And to a certain extent, there's parts of it that you still can, but the fact that we as a society need to be careful of what we take in, where and how we take it in is more of a troubling thing to me. And I mean, I worry about younger generations coming up and where do you get your information from and what's misinformation and what's not. And it's turning into a very murky water of what to believe and what not to, right? And I think that's a part of a problem with social media. And,
I was just going to say that social media and everything is like, it's in your feed and you read it and you hear it and you think it and then you're on to the next thing. And you don't track down where that came from. You don't test anything.
If it wasn't for Quick Dick McDick, I would not have social media.
Yeah.
I really would.
I'm exactly the same way.
If it wasn't for Quick Dick, you wouldn't have social media?
Yeah. No, we're very similar. You have 87,000 subscribers. I have 87 subscribers. But I have the same disdain for social media.
Yeah.
I think it's ironically because what we're trying to do is through social media, but that's the avenues that we have to work with right now.
Yeah, that's right. And like at the end of the day, social media's job is to keep your face buried in your phone. That's its job. That's the algorithm's job on any platform that's out there, is they just want to keep you clicking, want to keep you scrolling. You are the product, right? And we're kind of going like off topic here a little bit, but
that's what happens on this show.
I had this really neat thing happen. I had the opportunity to work at the Saskatchewan Rush. This would have been like kind of right when Quick Tick was getting going. Would have been winter of 2019. Sorry, winter of 2020 I was coming into March, I think. It was kind of just before like the pandemic really set in. And I had the opportunity to go help the Saskatchewan Rush with Operation Smile, a fundraiser there. That it's a not-for-profit that works with kids with cleft palate surgeries and stuff like that. Not only in Canada but in third world countries and stuff. And so I went in there and I was getting in early, and the lady that I was talking to with the Rush was like, "Hey, my media team would like to meet with you and have a little chat before you get going here." I was like, "Yeah, okay, sounds great." So I roll into their office, and there's like these three girls with like MacBooks and all their iPads or whatever the fuck they were, come running up to me and they're like, "Okay, so when you're uploading on Instagram, how do you work the algorithm here and what kind of hashtags do you use and how do you promote your viewership and all this stuff or whatever?" And I'm like, "Oh, let me simplify this for you ladies here a little bit. There's this little button here called upload, and if you push it, it puts it to the internet, and then people just watch it. That's how it works."
Okay, but that's not how it works for everybody.
Wow.
Like, that's how it works for Quick Dick, because you're so relatable and you're so lovable. Let's just call it what it is. And everybody can relate to you and loves your humor and you're funny, and it's addicting. Like, you can watch your videos and want to watch another one. That's not everybody out there. A lot of people are working very hard.
Yeah.
Not me. I don't work hard. Steve works hard.
No, we don't work hard.
Yeah, we don't work very hard. But I get what you're saying. And if you got it, you got it. Like, you put it on there, everybody just does the work for you because they love it and they share it. You don't have to try and fool people into following your shit.
Yeah.
No, I think you found a lane too, especially in this province. Well, in all Western Canada, where your character is a guy from a farm that's a character.
Yeah.
And every farm has those characters.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's it kind of ties in with the live show. I like to go around and talk to people, and like my show is all about just growing up in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
And the funnest part about doing your show is ripping around afterwards and people being that part about your dad's shop. That's my life, you know? Like,
same thing.
And
You must hear that a lot because everything is from your day-to-day farm life.
And I think people are always like, where'd you come up with the idea? Or where do you get all your ideas from or whatever? And I just kind of look around at what's going on. And I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did
observant.
this? I want to know how this started, because I started watching your videos a couple years ago.
All right. Yep.
And I saw you. I think you did a thing on CTV. They had you on the news or something. So I'm like, who the fuck is this guy and what has he been doing? So I start looking more at it, and it's like how did it start? Were you doing just the videos for fun and sending them to your friends? I think you said.
Yeah, kind of. How
long ago did you start being Quick Dick? Or did people call you Quick Dick when you were like 14 years old?
No. My name is actually Dick. It's Dixon DeLorme.
Yeah.
Dick for short. I've been a dick all my life. You know what I mean?
Clearly.
Yeah. But I started doing this. I'd left a career in oil and gas. I was in oil and gas in northern Alberta for 19 years, 16 years in Grand Prairie. Actually.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone thinks I'm younger than I am.
Yeah.
Because I act like I'm about 12. You know what I mean? Most
You
of the
got
time.
young skin.
So I was coming back home, and I was on a huge motorcycle trip going from coast to coast through Canada. I was waiting for a job to come through in Australia. Actually, I was going to go work in the Moomba Desert, managing a transportation company there.
Okay, time out on the story that you're telling. How did that come about?
I knew a few guys that had gone over there and started doing it, and I was managing a commercial transportation company in northern Alberta, and they'd caught wind that I was leaving where I was at, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to come over and give this a try?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds pretty neat, actually," And then I came through home, so I deleted all my social media. I changed my phone number and everything. Like when I left the oil field, I was like, I am flipping a page on my life here. Kind of thing.
Were you running away from something?
No, I wasn't running. So and even when I left that job, I gave 6 months notice that I was going to be leaving. I trained guys to replace me. I made sure that everything was going to continue in the right direction. And anybody listening that's looking to leave a job, I would recommend you do the same thing. No matter what, never burn a bridge somewhere. Try and leave and have some honor. And
that's good advice.
So it was just time to go. I just hit a point where I was like, I don't know if I need to leave Grand Prairie, but I need to change what I'm doing in my life, kind of thing.
How long were you feeling that before you actually pulled the trigger and decided to do that?
I'd say about a year.
Really?
Yeah, but I wasn't quite sure, but I was just kind of all of a sudden floating through my life a little bit, kind of thing, and I was slowly. I was a really, really happy guy. Yeah. And I was slowly just turning into a miserable person, and I just kind of realized I was like this is not who I am or who I want to be, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then there was a actual TSN turning point. It was a very high stress job. Worked long hours. Managing a lot of people and a lot of different things. And I'd actually been on a recovery of a truck that was in the ditch the night before. And I was kind of the guy whenever nobody phoned you at 2 a.m. to tell you you're doing a good job. I was the guy that got phoned to be like, hey, this is fucked up. This is fucked up. We got to get this going again here. Right. But it was what I signed up for. It was good money. It was expected of me as my job. Right. And I just remember waking up that one morning. I'd slept for 2 hours after getting this truck out of the ditch and everything and back up into town and everything. And I'd slept for 2 hours. And this had been going on for days and weeks and months, kind of thing or whatever. And I sat on the corner of my bed that morning. My alarm had gone off. I've got to go back in to do my regular day stuff at the office. And I sat on the corner of my bed with my head in my hands. And I was like, I hate my life.
Really?
Yeah. But I consciously made a decision at that point in time. I was like, okay, yeah, I hate my life, but I am going to change that.
Yeah.
And my dad had been through some struggles in his life too that he was open with us years later about, we've always been tough cowboy kind of guys or whatever, but dad took the time and talked to us about it, and he was like, watch for these signs. I went through it and I handled them wrong or whatever. So it was some great advice from Big Mustache Al, and I took his advice, and I was able to recognize what I had going on because he'd had that conversation with me.
Yeah.
And I just started changing things. So I just kind of just grabbed my life, and I was like, hey, you're not fucking off on me here. I'm going to make this right to make it happen again. So that kind of led into this motorcycle trip that I was on, waiting for a work visa and some stuff for Australia. And then I came through home and just stopped to see mom and dad for a couple of days. And when you visit mom and dad at home, dad and mom heat their house in the wintertime with firewood over electric heat. Yeah. So you go cutting firewood.
Yeah.
Get to work, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the first time in years, my phone wasn't going off 24 hours a day, and I didn't have to worry about this customer or what was going on here. That I was just I had a clean slate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself doing something that I'd done a million times with my dad, driving around in this truck. And I was like, this is fucking hilarious. I've never realized it till now, but this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
We're both drinking beer.
Yeah.
The seat doesn't tip all the way back in a regular cab truck because there's so many empties behind the seat. There's an old chain swinging from the mirror. It's just a shit show. And I'm like, this is fucking hilarious.
But that's what you have to do when you're someone like you. You find the humor in everyday life. You said yourself, you're a happy guy, whatever. So you already see the world through a specific type of lens that a lot of people don't. So you see things as funny, and you probably see things as this could be a video, this could be a whatever.
Yeah. everyone's like, are you going to run out of ideas? I was like, I do not have the time to get down. I keep a notes page in my phone, and it's like, I'll never get to it all. Yeah. Yeah. It's just a matter of having the time, and you can't force it either. You got to be in the right frame of mind for it to happen. And, you know, I get a lot more done when we get into like seeding season and stuff like that, because GPS gives you a lot of ass time in the seat where you can like work on stuff and your mind can run free a little bit, and you can take notes and you can write stuff out a little bit. Like, excuse me, like, a lot of organic and good stuff happens, you know, just when you're doing regular stuff, calving cows and doing all those different things or whatever, right?
So what happens then? Because I've been the same way. And I have the notebook, I've got the ideas, I got whatever. I've been excited to ask you this question. At what point, because I know Joe Rogan always says this, you just got to hit record. At what point were you just like, fuck it, okay, I'm gonna make a video? Did you have something scripted out first, or are you just like, okay, no, I'm just gonna do it?
No, it was that day with my dad when we were going to cut that wood, and it was just on Snapchat, and I only had 2 people on Snapchat, and it was just because they wanted to keep track of me when I was on my motorcycle trip, because I had no intent of checking in with anybody. Yeah. And my older brother's like, no, like, you got to at least let us know you're alive
Snap
once
maps.
a day. I was like,
Turn
okay.
your maps
Is
on.
he moving? Good. Okay.
Yeah. So I was messing around with this. I didn't even know how Snapchat worked, and I was like, I named myself Quick Dick McDick on Snapchat because my name is Dick. And I was like, okay, well, I'll make it a funny name that my brother will laugh at when he sees. So I'll call it Quick Dick, you know. And it was taken on Snapchat.
Oh.
I'm like, who the fuck takes Quick Dick?
Did you snap whoever clicked?
I didn't, but I should.
You should. Let's do it right now.
And I was like, you know what would be even funnier is if I used the last name McDick. That would be really funny. And so I did that, and then fast forward to this trip in the wood truck with Dad, and I was like, this is the funniest thing I ever seen. You know, what'd be funny is if I did like an infomercial of a bunch of ads for like a firewood company in Saskatchewan. I don't know, we'll call it Big Mustache Owl Ventures. Yeah. And I just named my dad like that.
That was your first video?
Yeah, because he had a massive mustache, right? And I was like, we'll call it Big Mustache Owl Ventures. And so I just started doing a bunch of jokes involving wood and like trimming your bush and doing a whole bunch of different stuff or whatever. And I just put it to my story. And I had 2 people. Yeah. And my brother phones me the next day, and he's killing himself laughing. And it had this other guy on there. His name was Evan McGee. He's a chuck wagon racer, actually from north of Saskatoon. And he's like, you got to add this person because they'll think it's hilarious. And I was like, yeah, I know them. I'll add them or whatever. And then that person's like, you got to add these 2 people or whatever. And that's like kind of where it started. So I started doing, and Snapchat lets you go 10 seconds at a time between like breaks in your video or whatever, which is kind of where my cutaway production like style came from. And I started doing a minute of Quick Dick every day, 60 seconds every day when I got back from my motorcycle trip. And it would be on anything. Like some of that stuff, if it ever makes it out into the world, I will have lawsuits on my hands.
That's the beauty about Snapchat. It's gone forever.
The internet's forever. I've seen some of them floating around where people have like recorded a phone playing them or whatever. I'll be in trouble eventually. But it was kind of funny because I'd make fun of guys' farms and stuff like that. And guys would be like, do my farm next. I had a list of like 5 guys that wanted their farm roasted.
Roast?
Yeah. And so what started happening though is like it's down after 24 hours and people would be like, send me this one. I want to show it to my grandma or something like that or whatever. And eventually I got sick of it. Like I get sick of people bothering me to see these old ones. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put it on fucking YouTube and you can just click on it as much as you want and don't ever message me again because I don't even know who you are kind of thing, right?
Right.
And I did this one, it was a longer one than I'd ever done, and it was called Trains versus Pipelines, and it was right after they had the wreck at Guernsey and had that big fire, and I was really sick of how much oil we ship by train, and we keep shutting pipelines down in Canada. And so I made this one called Trains versus Pipelines, and some guy put it on Facebook, and it blew up. It went crazy on Facebook.
Yeah.
So what happened when shit started blowing up then?
Like nothing really. It just It was kind of flash in the pan. I almost feel like the flash in the pan is over kind of thing. But like
fuck.
No, but like, but like you just like we did a couple of news interviews and some stuff, and you'd get on a few radio programs and shit because people just kind of really didn't know who you are or what it was about or whatever. And then once I started getting like different platforms of social media like Facebook and Twitter and all this stuff or whatever, then people kind of have an avenue to get a hold of you kind of thing or whatever. And then it kind of slowed down a little bit, and I just do my thing, but. Yeah, I don't know. I just kept doing them, and I just kept making them longer and longer and longer, and like I learned how to edit video at my previous job.
Yeah.
Because I handled our safety program, and I took the company that we had, and I got us Core and PIC certified. And like I have extensive like safety background in commercial transportation and stuff. People are like, "I'm sorry, what?" I'm like, "Yeah, straight up." I was gonna contract out our safety program to a third party, and they wanted like $50,000 or something like that to develop the safety program, and I was like, "No." I was like, "There's got to be a different way to do it."
So you did it yourself.
So I like self-taught myself, if that sounds right, to edit video, and I started coming out with instructional videos on like how to pre-trip a truck and how to chain up a truck and how to do all this different stuff. So the funny thing is I made the safety program so that it would work, that we could get Partners in Compliance certified with Alberta Transportation. Somewhere in northern Alberta right now, I don't know if they'd still be using it, but there is a company.
There's a compliance video with Quick Dick McDick.
A clean-shaven, clean cut, Quick Dick McDick.
Okay.
Teaching you how to chain up a truck.
This whole time I'm staring at your face and I'm trying to imagine what you look like without a beard. Are there pictures of you that exist?
Oh yeah, there's a few kicking around out there.
So tell me about your beard. How long you been growing it?
It's facial hair, and it grows from my chin and jaws.
Come on.
I stopped shaving on the 1st of June 2019 because I had to keep clean shaven my entire life to work in the oil field.
You said fuck that shit.
Yeah, I was just done. And both of my brothers, I got an older brother and a younger brother, and they have majestic beards. And obviously, big mustache Al can grow a mustache, right?
Yeah.
And on my mom's side of the family too, we're a bunch of hairy bastards, and I just started growing it and just not shaving, and this is where I keep it. This is where I keep it. Like I keep it trimmed here, and this is just where it stays.
Do you ever feel like you may someday shave it off?
I hope it happens this summer.
Really?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do
Can I shave it?
Well, that depends. Well, what's going to be happening is I'm going to be teaming up with somebody with a Close Cuts for Cancer fundraiser, and I'm going to be doing a thing called Save It or Shave It. And so you can donate to this page if you want to save my beard, and you can donate to this page if you want to shave my beard. And
really?
Whoever raises the most money wins.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Because I really don't care if I keep it or not. To be honest, it sucks
year.
when you're welding, and you got to be careful if you're using a drill or close to a PTO shaft or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You should send us the link to that. We'll post it on our video, and our 87 subscribers can check it out.
Yeah, $20 each.
It should be fun. I hope it's a success, and I guess the only thing is, if I ever really did need to disappear from the face of social media, I could just shave, and
nobody would recognize.
Nobody would
Yeah,
know
that's
who
a
the
good.
hell that was.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Okay, so Farron brought us a couple shots.
Oh,
man.
perfect.
This
Just what
I
I
don't
needed.
do clear shots. What is it?
It's vodka.
Oh, Jesus
But he
Christ.
says it's the smoothest, best vodka. I got it. Oh, he's got. Hold on a sec. I got to get the sheet.
Let me help you out. DeBroady Distilleries from Rama. I know those boys. They punch out some pretty good vodka. It's just north.
yeah?
It's just north of where I grew up.
Okay, what's your drink? Like when you're going out, I'm assuming it's beer.
It's not.
It's not?
No.
Is it? Please tell me it's whiskey.
Beer's what I drink
Is
when
it
I'm not
whiskey?
allowed to drink.
Is it whiskey?
No, it's vodka.
Jesus. Okay.
Okay, so DeBroady? Is that
DeBroady, yeah.
DeBroady. So
Yeah.
who are these guys?
Yeah, they're boys from Rama, Saskatchewan, actually. So they're just kind of northeast of where I grew up, kind of thing. And it's just they grow most of their own grain that they use to do it with, and I think this is their first year in full production. They make some great vodka. We've got some great vodka makers in Saskatchewan.
Absolutely.
DeBroady's really good. There's Provincial Vodka out of Blaine Lake. I've toured their distillery. Paul Ryden that runs the place there, Reduga Distilleries. They make some really cool products. There's Last Mountain Distilleries. There's just
There's some good ones.
It's really cool.
And
Yeah.
you start to see them all over Canada now.
You really are.
Yeah.
And it's great. Like a lot of people are like, oh, it's just such this fad that everybody's going into this brewing and this and that or whatever. I think it's great because I love seeing companies like Molson and some of these bastards get some pressure put on them.
Absolutely.
Like I love it. You know what I mean?
Well, and it puts Saskatchewan on the map a little bit too. Like you start to see some of these beer companies, some of these breweries or distilleries.
Yeah.
It's when people think of Saskatchewan, they're going to start thinking, hey, they got good grain there, and they make some good hooch.
And they grow good beef. You know
Okay,
what I
so
mean?
Farron, where's Farron?
Cheers.
Farron, you coming to do a shot with us?
No, he doesn't like to be on camera.
Farron says, in his opinion, best vodka brewed in Saskatchewan. By far.
Yep. That is good. I knew what it was going to taste like already. I mean, I buy this stuff by the case.
Vodka's
awesome.
like the last thing I normally drink.
No, that's
I like
pretty
whiskey.
smooth.
Yeah, it's really good. You a whiskey girl?
Yeah.
See, I love vodka. I drink vodka and water. That's it. That's what I drink. It's my drink.
Are you Ukrainian?
No.
Okay.
Okay, before we ask another question, we got to dip into a new beer because I'm thirsty.
All right.
What's the number 2?
Number 2, that is which one? That's
one.
the white IPA.
White IPA.
It's probably gonna be hops. A little hoppy.
That vodka is ruining my day right now.
Chase it.
Chase it with the beers.
Guys ever heard of Coulter Wall?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when he does Saskatchewan Talking Blues, is it Prairie Talking Blues? Prairie Boy Talking Blues. When he's talking about IPA, fucking hilarious. I love that song.
That's a fruity.
Yeah, it is fruity. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Coulter Wall, have you partied with him?
No, I have not. I actually passed on the opportunity to meet him because his dad, Brad Wall, former premier of Saskatchewan, lives in Cypress Hills now at the park, and I was born in Maple Creek, and most of my family's down in Maple Creek, so I've had the opportunity to meet him a few times, and there was one chance I had to go meet Coulter when he was down there, but I was only there for a couple days, and I've still got a couple grandparents there, and I nothing against Coulter, but I got to spend some time with my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My grandparents aren't going to be around forever, and I'm sure someday when I'm all washed up, and Coulter's killing it, he'll still want to have a beer with me. I don't know. But it's just been really cool to be able to meet a lot of people, throughout this whole thing. It's been really awesome.
So when you were talking about when you first started doing it and you took that first video or whatever, how long ago was that?
That was like fall of 2019.
2019. Okay,
Yeah.
so not that long ago.
No, not that long. Yeah.
So you've rocketed, kind of.
Yeah.
I would say.
It blew up fast, I guess, and unintentionally. And I mean,
how does that feel? Do you have a lot of ladies in your inbox? It's Valentine's Day.
Are my DMs full?
Are your
Is that what you're
DMs
asking?
on fire?
So far, my Tinder has been inactive in Nipawin, so I don't know.
Just crickets.
No, it hasn't been really all that crazy, to be honest. The funniest part about it is actually I wind up going to a lot of, trade shows and a bunch of different things or whatever. And I don't know what I've done to myself because I have more old farmers that want their pictures with me aside from young single ladies. You know what I mean? So,
farmers' wives, maybe.
No, they'll come up to me and be like, hi. And I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. They're like, can my husband get a picture with you?
That's right.
Yeah, fuck, I guess. We're here.
Most of Steve and I's followers are either my parents or
or my uncles and aunties.
50-year-old women. Yeah.
But yeah, it hasn't really been all that crazy in the lady department of things or whatever. But I think it's got a lot to do with my topic and subjects that I cover too and whatnot. But I mean, I just met a lot of cool people and.
So you said that before. Who are some of the cool people you met because of the McDick thing?
It's I'd say Brad Wall's probably one of the top ones, and it's been really. I've
really?
Yeah, straight up, yeah. What?
Hey, he's a cool dude.
But that's I don't know. It's I like to focus on people that I've met that aren't famous because famous people can be whatever, and I mean they get shout outs all the time or whatever, but. I think one of the cooler group of people that I met was when I did a show in Val-Marie. And the people that organized it were actually fantastic. But I did this show in Val-Marie in the basement of a decommissioned church, and Beauchamp. If hopefully I'm going to try and share this, and hopefully Anne watches it. But shout out to you, she did a great job organizing this fundraiser in Val-Marie. And I was coming into Val-Marie and I was like, okay, where do I go? And she's like, well, you go to the church on the outside of the town. I'm like, you booked me in a fucking church? And she's like, it's a decommissioned church. I was like, okay, I get it. And I was like, I'm still going to light on fire when I walk in there or whatever. But
that's awesome though, that you have that confidence and you have that belief in yourself that that's, I think, what is attractive about you to people watching your videos.
Here, I thought you were admitting you're attracted to me there. I don't know.
Well, I'll look you up on Tinder later.
There's a few more beers here. Then who knows what happens.
People like that. Like when you're assured of yourself and you're like you said, you're not quick dick one place and dicks in somewhere else. You are you all the time, and you're confident in that.
Yeah, it's never been I don't get bashful in front of crowds. I don't mind going in awkward situations. There's the only situations that are awkward are ones that you let be awkward. You know what I mean? And I've always been the kind of guy, if I walk into a situation that's awkward, I will make it so awkward that it just turns funny and it's not awkward anymore. Right? You know what I mean? Like
one cool thing that Farron said about, because we asked how you did last night, and he said he killed it. But he said the first thing you did when you walked in here is you went to every table and you introduced yourself and you sat down and you had a little chin wag with everybody.
Yeah.
He thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but like, I don't know. I kind of don't get it. I went and met with some lady, messaged me on Facebook. She was like, I couldn't get tickets to the show. My husband really wants to meet you. And do you think you could come and have a coffee with him at Tim Hortons? And I was like, well, yeah.
So you did?
Awesome.
Well, I went and had a coffee with him. I'm just a regular guy.
And that's proof that it never hurts to ask,
That's
too.
true.
Right.
I always say that because I'm a big adventure chick. I love just doing whatever. And it never hurts to ask, like asking you to do the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, what's the worst that can happen? You say no?
Yeah.
I do the same thing when I go to the bar and I'm trying to pick a girl up. You know, what's the worst that can happen? She slaps me and tells me no. Well,
What's the worst that has ever happened?
like that's it. Just no.
Slaps you.
Yeah. So far, I haven't been hauled off in cuffs.
You've never been in a bar fight over a chick?
No, at a dance once.
Where was the dance? Was it in Shiho?
How did you know?
Because I lived on the race circuit for a while.
Okay,
and
yeah.
I went to every little chuckwagon race at all those little towns. Shiho, Karaoke Bar was a big hit all the time.
Karaoke Bar.
And I
yeah.
know how those
Actually,
dances can get.
I know the folks that own the Karaoke Bar, the
Yeah.
El Karaoke. So shout out to Eugene Malachuk if you're out there listening. And it was actually nothing to do with trying to pick a girl up or whatever. It was I didn't even know who the dude was or whatever, and he took a swat at his girlfriend or whatever was happening there, and I
stepped in.
Yeah, I
Atta
stepped
boy.
in.
Gentleman.
Yeah.
Atta boy.
Don't ask me how I did.
Yeah.
What matters is that I stepped in. Doesn't matter if I got my ass kicked or not, but it's just a
Exactly.
matter of getting
What
in there.
happened? I want to know.
If you're getting
No,
your
it's-
ass beat, she's not.
It was really just, well, that's true. Yeah.
Take it one for the team.
No,
But-
she probably got it when they got home, too.
But like in a small town like Shiho, if something like that's going down, no matter what, there's going to be a lot of people have your back just
Yeah.
because you're stepping in on principle. But it was de-escalated very quickly. We just traded a couple of shots and then it got broke up, and that was that or whatever.
Right
Yeah.
on.
So, but no, other than that, I'm pretty calm when I go out to places. I just like to have a good time. I'm more of a lover, not a fighter. You know what I mean? I'd rather dance than fight.
Oh, Steve, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dance. You getting way well. Sometimes you get in depends who you ask to dance.
You find me a girl that can do a heel
Steve,
toe.
have you ever been in a fight at a bar?
No,
over
I've
a
never
chick?
been. No. I'm not threatening enough.
I got in one New Year's Eve. This is years and years ago in Grovedale, Alberta, and I actually got my jaw broke.
Really?
If you get underneath this beard, there's a big scar. I've got
I
a whole
would
bunch
think
of
the
hardware
beard
in my jaw.
would be like almost like a helmet.
I
like
didn't
it
have
would
it
be
at the
padding.
time. Yeah, I didn't have it at the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's why you keep it now.
No, I'm proud of my scars.
You didn't see the
actually.
left uppercut coming.
I was already unconscious apparently. Yeah. Yeah, it was quite the rumble, but
So did you get kicked?
no, not that I know
Did
of. I
you
think
get
Well,
kicked?
because
What kind of a question
No, I was
is
talking
that?
about this with a buddy last night about how because he had his jaw wired shut. We were having this
From
conversation
a fight?
And yeah, and I said, "Well, did you get punched in the face?" He said, "No, I was unconscious and I got kicked."
Oh,
I was unconscious and I got punched.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
one guy was holding me by my hood. I had a hood on my jacket, and he was
Yeah.
holding my head out of the snowbank, and the other guy was just beating on my face.
Holy man!
Yeah,
That's man. When you get into bar fights or dance fights,
this
or
was
stuff
actually
like
at
that, it's vicious.
a shop, a New Year's party at a shop. Even so, yeah.
So did you know a bunch of
I mean, that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You know what I mean?
guess so.
Yeah. I had a really cool surgeon. They put me back together at the University of Alberta Hospital, and he was awesome. He was showing me the drills and everything he was going to use to put me back together before
What?
they put me out, and yeah, it was neat.
what's the recovery like for a broken jaw?
It's,
You have to drink through a straw for quite a while.
It sucks. So like I'm not a big guy. Everyone watches my YouTube and they're like, you must
Yeah.
be a huge guy. I'm
You
not
know
that
what?
big.
Carhartt's add
honestly,
20 pounds.
I was surprised when you came in. You look very slim, and you look like you take care of yourself. I would not
Like-
guess that from your videos. All I see is the big frozen beard with ice in
I
it.
know,
Chewing
right?
on
Yeah.
weed
Carhartt.
and crashing pills.
Yeah.
But no, I what was the question again? I lost track here.
Oh, eating through a straw.
Eating through a straw, yeah. So, like, I was actively truck driving at the time in the oil field, and I was wired shut for almost 2 months, and I had a wisdom tooth pulled like quite a while back, and I knew a vet, and if you go to a vet, they've got a little tube that's about this long that they use to intubate cats with. And if I dipped it in a little cooking oil or put some lip chap around it, I could wiggle it through the hole where that wisdom tooth was. So whatever I could get into a 60 mil horse syringe, I could eat. Straight up.
Nice.
Yeah, I spent 2 months like that on the road in a truck.
Lots of green juice, probably.
Yeah, well, actually.
So in a truck, so what, did you take a blender along with you?
No, but like, you'd be surprised how
like
much sympathy.
McDonald's milkshakes? Did you live on that shit or what?
Like Ensure. I drank so much Ensure.
Oh, yeah.
It was insane. Yeah.
How many months was this?
2 months.
Holy
Ensure,
shit. Did you
V8.
lose weight?
So, like, at the time, I weighed like 175 pounds, and I lost 20 pounds.
Wow.
I had to buy new jeans.
Jesus.
Have you regained the 20 pounds?
Oh, yeah, they're back. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You must have really been emaciated.
I looked like looked like I'd been in the Himalayas for months.
So speaking about drinking things through a straw, there's a little town called Brooksby, Saskatchewan, just west of here, and they used to have a bonspiel every year. And the one year for the Saturday night kind of social thing, they had, this was back in the day when Fear Factor was really big.
All right.
So we had a Fear Factor.
A young
night.
Joe Rogan with hair.
Yeah, we had a
so
Dude, you have no idea.
No.
Steve is
Joe Rogan fan. But anyways.
There's a lot of them out there.
So Fear Factor night, and one of the things they had to do that I had to do was you were blindfolded and you had to eat something through a straw.
You had to do this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So what they did is they went to McDonald's and they bought Happy Meals and put all of it in a blender. It
was probably
blended
good.
it up, and you had to drink that through a straw, but you didn't know what it was.
It was probably delicious.
Oh man, chunks of ground
it was probably
beef and
but it was probably salty and creamy and delicious.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good.
Well, this turned
Salty
left
and
in a big
creamy
area.
and delicious. I just got that.
Okay, I told you I'm 2 beers and a shot in.
So
Karen, get her some more of that vodka.
So here's what goes on is I actually went to Edmonton. My little brother was living in Edmonton at the time, and I had to go there for surgery the next morning after we got figured out that my jaw was broken.
Yeah.
And we went to a Smitty's, and I was going to try and eat some breakfast, and I just couldn't. Like, my jaw was sheared completely in half.
Holy shit.
I looked like a puppet with a broken
So why
jaw
did you
kinda
think
thing.
you could eat breakfast?
That's because I was hungry and I was young and I didn't care, and I got there and I just couldn't do it. I was trying to get this egg, and I couldn't. And the waiter comes back and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm just having a hard time eating." And he's like, "What can I do to help?" I was like, "Can you just put this through a blender for me?" And he's like, "Sure." And he comes back and he had my entire breakfast in a smoothie glass.
What was your breakfast?
With a straw.
Bacon, eggs, hash browns.
With pancakes, eggs, bacon, and that was it.
Syrup.
And he had to put some milk in with it to get her to go. And I just got it in me, and there was no
Was
issues.
it good?
Drive it
It was
in,
delicious.
Really?
Yeah. But
I've never had to drink my meals through a straw before.
But I'm one of those mix my food together on the plate anyways,
Yeah.
because it all comes out the same.
Me too.
So,
Me too.
yeah.
I don't understand the separation thing.
Some people are crazy that way.
Just make a casserole out of it.
Are we doing this last beer?
Yeah, what is this one? This is the winter solstice from High
Did
Key
you already
Brewing.
drink the tiramisu?
Yeah,
Look at you go.
I just pounded it because it's
I'm
terrible.
saving that for dessert.
Like, nothing against them.
It's not terrible.
Dessert doesn't belong in beer.
Delicious. What
Okay,
is this
this
one?
is the winter solstice, High Key Brewing.
I love winter solstice because it means the days start getting longer.
Oh my God. Okay, so I was just saying to Steve this morning, I'm finally starting to notice
That's cinnamony.
it's light out when I have to make supper at 5 o'clock.
That's all right.
a big deal.
It is. It's a really big deal.
What do you eat? Okay, you live by
I
yourself.
I actually like that.
You make your own meals.
Yeah.
What's Quick Dick's favorite supper?
Well, I mean, like I don't have I like steak. Anything beef, I like beef. You know what I mean? But what I do is I usually cook.
Not gonna say it.
I cook enough at one point in time for an army, and then I split it into
You're
old
a meal
yogurt
prepper.
containers,
You're a meal prepper.
and I throw them in the deep freeze, and then. I'm very strange. It's maybe why I'm still single, but like I can eat the exact same meal for supper for 3 months. I just don't fucking care. I'll
That's
eat
an attractive quality.
I'll eat it. I'll eat it, and I'm not hungry anymore, and that's all I care about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, whatever. I don't
So
give a
that's
shit.
funny. I do, because I'm a single guy too, live by myself, and I always, when I go home, my parents live in Kindersley, and my mom always has like a box full of frozen meals that she just sends with me, and she always she's worried if I don't like any of them, and I'm like, I loved every single one.
Yeah.
How could you not?
Because I didn't have to make it.
Does your mom cook for you?
She does, not like she cooks for me, but you always get the odd invite. Hey, you should come up for supper.
Yeah.
Do they live in Tufnell too?
They're north of Tufnell on a farm. Yeah, is where they're at. Yeah,
So
but it's only a few miles away, kind of thing. But I don't make a habit of going out there very often. But if I am going to stop by for a visit, I will make sure it's always at supper time. Mom, I love you if you're listening. Yeah, sorry, I did not mean to say I was scheduling it that way.
Does your mom's feelings get hurt?
No, she does not have hurtable feelings. She is the toughest person I've ever met on planet Earth. She rules the roost with an iron fist. She raised 3 boys, and we're still scared of her.
What are your parents like? What's your dad
they're
like?
Incredible. My dad's pretty much what you see on Quick Dick videos. He's hilarious, and he's a really easygoing guy. Has fun. He's always got his opinion that he's going to throw in there. And if you're doing something, he will tell you the exact right way to do it. And if you do it any different, what the fuck are you doing, kind of thing or whatever. But just an awesome guy. And people in the community really like him. You know what I mean? He's just a likable guy, and everyone's like, oh, it's Al. You know what I mean? And, he was never that way as a kid. And that's some of the stuff that I talk about in my show here or whatever. He was.
What do you mean he was never that way as a kid?
He was hard as fuck when we were kids. You did not step out of line.
Would your brothers concur?
Absolutely. 100%. We've had this conversation a million times.
And now he's not that way?
You would not step out of line. You were not allowed to do this, not allowed to do that. You will do it this way, da-da-da-da-da. And now it's he's like, you know what? You guys are all grown up. I've raised you. I pretty much fucked up as bad as I possibly could have, and there's nothing I can do to change it now, so he'll just sit back and drink beer and hang out with us now. Or whatever,
I pretty much fucked up as much as I could have. How does that make you feel?
Well, he doesn't say that. I say that for him or whatever, right? But
No, he's just your best bud.
yeah,
It seems like he's probably done a pretty good job. I mean, you're out there, you're making people laugh, you're doing a lot of charity work, everybody wants to hear what you have to say. I feel like he's probably done a pretty good job.
He's done good. I'm kind of the loser of the family. My older brother actually has been an agriculture technician. He works for John Deere, and I mean he's done it for since he was 15. And he's probably one of the most accomplished mechanics I've ever met in my entire life. The guy's incredible, actually. And my younger brother, he's got 2 kids. He's married to a doctor, and he works for a energy auditing firm or whatever. And they're making the world better by using less energy and doing audits on buildings and stuff like that. I've got really good brothers, and I would say yes, my parents did a very good job. And it was. My mom is an incredible person too. She's just so full of energy, just never stops. She's just a machine all the time. But growing up, I wouldn't say we were poor, but I mean we didn't have a lot of money, and we lived in some shitty houses and stuff. And my dad was a cowboy, which you make no fucking money when you're a cowboy kind of thing or whatever, but you're doing it for a lifestyle. I never for one moment in my entire childhood can think back and be like, man, we really had it tough,
Yeah.
When you look back at it now and be like, how the fuck did you guys make it on the money that you were making? And it just, I thought we were kings of the world my entire childhood. Now, that is success as a parent as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had no fucking idea.
You never felt poor.
Never. Not
Right?
once, ever.
You didn't have much compared to what people have now.
Yeah.
But also, it was a different climate back in the day.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like everybody was driving around with brand new vehicles. High school kids weren't
That's right.
driving around with brand new vehicles.
Oh.
We didn't have $600 devices in our hands and on our wrists and whatever.
Yep.
It's gotten totally crazy.
Yep.
So I've said this a million times, I wish I could be 30 years old in the 80s.
Yes.
I wish I could have grown up when my parents grew up raising a family.
And I mean, I wanted to know the young Madonna. You know what I mean? That's all I wanted. I just
Probably still want that.
Does she actually remember what it was like to be a virgin?
not a chance.
That was no.
But it's no, it was it was a great time to grow up. And I mean, my grandparents and my parents talked to us about we don't know hard times when we were growing up as kids, but they'll echo the same thing that I've said about them, about their parents. My dad grew up and my mom, they grew up very poor.
Yeah.
They didn't know the difference when they were kids too. And they'll say the same thing. And I think that's maybe a sign of success as a parent is if your kids grow up and you don't have a lot, but they grow up being able to appreciate what they have. That's very important. I think that's something we're really starting to lose touch with nowadays.
Think part of that is back then the emphasis was on activity, like the stuff that you did together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like my family was very, my parents were always coaching all my stuff, and we did family vacations together, and there was no devices. We weren't on devices. Yep. We were playing Yahtzee and renting the VCR and watching movies on Friday nights.
Yeah, the rich kids had a Nintendo.
Yeah.
Those bastards.
Yeah, we're playing Super Mario Brothers.
I don't feel like you were ever a video game guy.
Like a little bit later, like getting into my teens, I wasn't quite teens, I guess, yet, but we got a Sega Genesis.
Oh yeah.
Steve's all over that shit.
Sonic Hedgehog. Sonic Tails.
I was hardcore like Duck Hunt and Mario Brothers, and then nothing.
Yeah.
That was it. Just because my older brother had one.
But now the kids all have every single console there is.
That's insane.
They got a computer, a $4,000 gaming computer.
Who's got a $4,000
They got a PS5. They got a Nintendo
Steve, who are
Switch.
these people?
Kids.
Bullshit.
Gaming kids.
Really?
Yes.
Well.
Yes.
Chairs, computers, all this shit,
It's
or whatever.
And they make videos for YouTube, and they make millions of dollars.
Oh boy!
How much money do you make off YouTube?
You know what? No, I'll tell you right now. So I don't put mid-roll ads on any of my videos because
you don't put what?
Mid-roll ads.
Mid-roll.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And I put skippable ads on it. And the reason I do that is because when I started doing this, I was like, when I'm watching YouTube, and the only time I ever watch YouTube is when I'm trying to figure out how the fuck to fix something that's broken, and somebody can show me how to replace a turbo on a 97.7 or something like that. And I'm like, what pisses me off the most is when I get halfway through the video and I have to wait for a fucking ad or whatever. So I don't put those on. And I don't monetize like I should. I should monetize my Facebook better. I should do a lot of different things better. But the only reason I know the stat is because I pulled it up for a presentation that I was doing to a marketing class at the Yorkton College here a little while ago. So I'm close to 75,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I've got 7.1 million.
I think you should check your stats because I checked you this morning and you were at 87.
No, I think you should check. But I mean, I agree to disagree. Anyways, so 7.1 million viewing minutes since I started the channel, and I'm 500 and some thousand watch hours kind of thing on my channel or whatever. And to date, since inception, off my YouTube channel, I've made $21,000.
That's fucking good, though.
Which is like over the course of 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's
a little walking around
chunky.
money.
Yeah, a little bit of walking around money. But I mean,
like me and Steve are fucking slinging coffee to pay. We're putting on this comedy show in 2 weeks to pay for a camera.
Yeah, I hear that. So, I guess the thing to remember here too is I keep this as a side hustle, and with my merch and everything that I do or whatever, I donate everything back that I can to the community after I've got all my costs covered to kids sport and health foundations and different stuff like that. Because not that I don't need the money, because everybody can always use the cash. Let's be honest. I'm in agriculture and I need fucking money or whatever, right? But it's important to not use this as a monetary source, for the simple fact that will affect what you do for content.
It will affect your content.
Yeah, we've talked about that lots.
Yeah. And it's hilarious when people are like, how do you deal with the comments that you get on some of this stuff? And I was like, I just don't fucking care. It's just water off a duck's back. I really don't care. But there's so many people. When I did a video, because I have family members that work in healthcare, and I did a video, promoting when I got my COVID vaccine or whatever, right? And the hate that I got off of doing that was insane. You know what I mean? And alternatively, you'll get a lot of love off of it too. But I think people focus too much on the negative or whatever, right? But all I ever do is I just do what I feel is right and what I want to fucking do, and I do it.
What you think is funny and what you think is good.
The fact that there are people out there who have actually commented on this and be like, I see Trudeau paid you to do this or whatever. I'm like, do you think for 10 seconds that I would accept $1 from Justin fucking Trudeau? Yeah. But the fact that there's people out there that's where their mind is at is a statement to how sick social media can make you.
They live on Twitter.
You know?
They live on Twitter.
Yeah.
I've been fighting that battle with myself too. It's like I have such a not even a love-hate relationship. I would say it's just a hate relationship. But like, I want to make videos and I want people to watch the videos and I want people to listen to the podcast because I genuinely like getting to know other people, and I think other people should get to know other people too.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what you asked before we started here. So what are you trying to do? Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Let me ask that again. So like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
You know?
And my answer's the same. I don't fucking know. All I know is I like talking to people. Mm-hmm. I love hanging out with Steve. I love what we're doing. We have a good time. Every Friday night we go live.
Awesome.
Almost every Friday night. And we try to have a guest, but it's hard to get guests.
Yeah, I hear you.
And we just like to shoot the shit and talk about real life and be ourselves.
Yeah.
And if people want to watch it, fucking awesome. If people don't want to watch it, fine.
Yeah. It's still fun to do it.
Yeah, it's fun to do it, and that's why we're doing it.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
So that's my answer, I guess. What are you trying to do
That's a
here?
good
I'm
answer.
just trying to talk to people.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of people ask me like, "What's my end game?" I get that question a lot.
Yeah.
I know.
What's your end
It's
game?
almost cliche now.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm like, I don't have an end game.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I like this is such a side hustle. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And I've always kept what I do as a side hustle. But my answer to that question is always, I don't so much have an end game as I have a roadmap. You know, I've got a route that I'm following.
Do you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. There's some
Like with the quick tick shit?
Yeah, for sure. Like, so there's some productions that I put out and I'll put them out timely, and there'll be certain topics that I'll cover and certain things that I'll say that will, and I usually get a good reaction. It's been more of an experiment over the last little while on how people react to a lot of the content that I put out. But the amount of people, and I won't use any names because I don't have their permission to do it whatsoever, but Quick Tick started out as very a polarized, extreme right-wing kind of guy. And over the last little while, we've probably seen him like getting a little more centered. And that's been my journey along this, because that's how I started this off personally, was very polarized, extreme right-wing.
I was going to say, you're kind of talking about quick tick in third person, but...
Absolutely, yeah. And the interactions that this has brought me to between people has done me good as a person, and I bring that through with Quick Tick as well, and I hope that some people will follow me along with it. And I'll take Agribition as one spot that really hit me, that this is maybe starting to make a little bit of a difference, maybe, and it doesn't have to be making a difference with more than 2 people. I don't care, 20,000, 200, I don't care, as long as people start talking to each other a little more. 2 members of the NDP caucus, the official opposition in Saskatchewan, picked me out of a crowd, and I won't say who they are, but they're people that typically Quick Tick would not get along with or be caught associating with.
I love when you call yourself Quick Tick.
But they picked me out of the crowd at the Bud Light loading chutes, beer gardens at Agribition, and they were like, "You're Quick Tick, aren't you?" And they didn't expect me to know who they were. And I knew who they were right away. I shook both their hands, and I shook their hands. I was like, "Mr. whatever, it's nice to meet you. Ms. whatever, it's nice to meet you."
They're people too.
And they're like, we don't agree with everything you do, but man, you do some great stuff for like the beef industry and a few different things. And I was like, hey, like, I don't always agree with everything you guys do either, but it's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And they wanted to have a talk, and I was like, you know what? Because I'm wearing a mask because I'm inside of it, or because of stupid fucking rules. And I was like, you know what? Why don't we get a beer? And we'll sit down, take this mask off, and we'll chat. We sat down, and I had a candid conversation with 2 human beings that have kids that are concerned about things in our community.
Absolutely.
And we just had a conversation, and one wanted to take a picture with me, and she says, "Don't worry, I won't post it online." I said, "You post it where the fuck you want."
Yeah.
I will sit down and have a drink with anybody, and you can post a picture of me sitting down and having a drink with you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And like, this has led to me trying to hear and empathize a little bit with people that I would have shut out years ago before I ever started this. And that is my roadmap in a roundabout way. Yeah, I'm still gonna say fuck Trudeau and do a bunch of different things, because that's how I feel as a person. But if somebody wants to talk to me candidly about how they feel that Trudeau would be an asset to Canada, to be honest, I am at a point now in my life where I would rather sit and hear what drives their opinion and what they're doing versus somebody that agrees with me.
Yep.
I get that you
That's
agree with me that
important.
you hate Trudeau.
Yeah.
And we probably hate him for the same reasons. But if you support him, what is driving this?
Why?
Because
Why
you're
do you
on a
think
quest
that way?
to learn.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
And that's what we're trying to get at with this show, is just hearing different perspectives, because you'll always be stuck in your same old shit if you don't ever open yourself up to hear other people's perspectives.
Most dangerous place to reside in is an echo chamber.
I think that's what turns people off of Trudeau, is because he doesn't want to hear anybody else's perspectives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where this is headed. I'm very much against carbon tax for very, very many reasons, and people that are for it are now the people I want to sit and engage in conversation with, because either I need to hear something that will exponentially make me change my mind about a carbon tax, or they need to hear where I'm coming from. But I can sit and have a conversation like this with somebody that would support a carbon tax calmly and rationally. The worst thing people ever do is have their phone out and try and post a bunch of articles and stuff or whatever, or why they support something. Put your phone down and candidly have a conversation with me about a human being of why it is that you support what you support. And you'll find really quickly, I've found this with so many people so far.
I was going to say, can you think of an example of an instance where somebody changed your mind on a subject?
Changed my mind? Not specifically, but I would say that I've seen different sides of their argument that I never considered before, you know? Especially with, it would be dealing with substance abuse, I think. And I had a very hardened opinion on substance abuse and safe injection sites and a few different things like that. Was that it is absolutely and completely ridiculous, and why would we be wasting money on this kind of thing? And I actually wound up talking with a lady that had worked in England, and they have like different working addicts programs there, where they actually supply addicts with the drug that they're addicted to in exchange for work. And they get their drugs from a safe source, and they're not, laced with fentanyl or a bunch of different things. And they will actually work with their addiction and have a working addict work in the business. And this has been a model that they've used in the UK for quite a while now, and it has great success. And if you would have dropped that on me just out of the blue and I'd heard that, I would have been like, that's the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard in my life. Why the fuck would you do that kind of thing? But take all the social media and everything away from it and sit across from somebody like we're doing here and have a beer with them and read their body language and feel they emote to you what they're talking about. That has a very profane effect on you as a human being. You know what I mean? And that's something that we're losing very quickly through social media. And Mike Tyson says it best: anyone will say absolutely anything on social media because they do not have the threat of being punched in the face for saying it. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. And that's...
Have you ever, speaking of addictions, have you ever felt like you were addicted to anything?
Work. Yeah.
Really?
In my previous career.
Oh, on the oil fields.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And why so?
I didn't know how to function without it, because it had turned into
filling a void?
Yeah. It had just turned into such a part of my life that even when I was on vacation, I had to check my email and see what was going on. I was addicted to what was happening. I couldn't just shut that part of me off and be like, hey, go for a walk in the bush, or go for a swim, or go do something.
Put your phone down.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was one of the big parts of me coming back home and just being like, hey, I need to learn how to stop and go do this.
So when you were detoxing from that,
yeah,
what was that like?
It was hard. That's what birthed Quick Dick.
Yeah.
It's just and it's in a presentation that I do on a mental health talk that I have put together. And it's, I had a mind that liked to be busy, and all of a sudden, if you have that other side of it shut off, your mind is going to start focusing on other things that will keep it busy.
Yeah.
And comedy turned into one of those things, or creating content it turned into one of those things. And already within the first year of when I was doing this, I learned how to recognize these things within myself, and I realized that within the first year of doing this, I was now addicted to creating content and putting it out there. And I was like, hey.
But that's a positive thing. Don't you find creation one of the best ways to, I don't know. It's such a release.
Yeah, it definitely is. But it got to the point where it'd be 3 a.m. and I would be like, I have to get a production out at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Why did you feel that?
I'd unintentionally set a schedule for myself, being like, every Monday morning I'm going to have an upload so people would know where to find me and do my thing or whatever. And then I just kind of caught myself, and I was like, hey, just change what you're doing and do it when it feels right, but don't not go and have a drink with your neighbors, or don't go on the Tough No Poker Derby. Don't not go on the Tough No Poker Derby because you have to edit a video and put it up. No.
Yeah.
Go on the Tough No Poker Derby and then put your video out whenever you want or whatever, right? And people are still going to watch it and laugh. And that's the thing, is you just can't get addicted to how many subscribers I've got, or how many views have I got, or how many likes have I got. And I don't watch that as close as a lot of other people do, because
Did you ever?
off the start I did.
Because
Absolutely.
that's interesting, because I was going to say, if you would have done your research and watched back on my shit, which you didn't do.
No, I skimmed. I was just looking for crazy things and anything that would set off a siren. And I was like,
and
no, I
nothing
didn't find
set
it.
you off?
No,
well, then you didn't do a very good job. Okay, so
You didn't get to the fart jokes though.
Yeah, but fart jokes are fine. You know what I mean?
I was doing this series with my mom called Mondays with Mom.
All right.
And it was fucking hilarious. Like, she's funny. But she's gone to Mexico for 3 months, so we can't do it now.
All right.
But that's what it was like. She started getting sucked into how many views we got on a video. And if we didn't get over 1,000 views, she was like, oh, that one sucked, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, people are sick of us. People
Yeah.
are sick of us. It's like, who fucking cares? We're doing
Yeah.
it for fun. Like, we're doing it so we can visit on Monday mornings.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But that's what social media does.
It does. I got to a point where I just kind of stopped looking and stopped watching. And it's like kind of a rule that I have when I do content or make content. I gauge the style of video that I've done is there's a very select group of people in my community that will text message me whenever I put out a video and be like, that was really good. If I get that from those 4 people or 5 people or whatever, then I've accomplished my goal.
Yeah.
I don't care about the rest of it. You know what I mean?
Have you ever gotten like really, really negative feedback that makes you kind of second guess what you're doing?
Yeah, actually, and from a very close family member too, and that's what I hold that very sacred, and I would never in any way, shape, or form put stuff out that would have something where my family would disown me for it, kind of thing or whatever. That's very important to me. And there was one instance where I had put one thing out where I got a little bit of criticism from a very close family member, and I had a close look at it. And usually I won't go back and look at things, and I had a close look at it. And I was like, no, I stand by what I said, but that led to a discussion that I needed to have with that family member about some different views that we have. And it led to me realizing that it's kind of where I'm at now, is that it's okay to have a different view and opinion from somebody. It doesn't mean that you can't love them and you can't be their friend and you can't accept them as who they are and accept them with their opinion. And so it was actually a good moment for me. It wasn't a bad moment. You know what I mean? But like it's what you do with those moments that's very important, right? Yeah.
Right.
So like we always play that my mom is ashamed of Quick Dick and doesn't, she's always a silhouette in my videos and stuff like that. But it's totally a joke that we play, and it's like there's kind of a longer story behind it, but it's just a joke we play. I've only ever taken one video off of YouTube, and I did it. YouTube didn't do it.
Did you? I just did the same thing the other day, and I've only just started posting videos.
Yeah.
But it was called Steve and Andy Make a Porno. And I work at a school.
It can be a little bit of an issue.
And
then,
it wasn't a porno, obviously, but it's like I was just fine with it. I thought it was fucking hilarious. And I thought it was so funny. I watched it a million times. I posted it to YouTube. And then I'm sitting there watching like Disney Plus with my kid the other day. And all of a sudden it hits me and it's like,
you're like, oh shit. Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have done that. So I took it off, and then
Yeah, I hear you. It's like lots of people are like, have you ever had stuff taken off of YouTube? Like YouTube is...
They will only take shit off if you put someone else's music in your video.
Wow.
Not specifically. So like that's a copyright thing, and a lot of the music numbers that I do through YouTube for a good reason, is because YouTube handles copyright for you, which is kind of one of the cool things about a YouTube algorithm or whatever with their software. Like they actually go through and pick out anything that's actually holding copyright. Yeah. And you're just not allowed to monetize it, right? And that's when I do like my, it's nippy or one of the like that's.
I showed that to my daughter the other day. I said I was doing a video with Quick Dick McDick, a podcast with Quick Dick McDick, and she's like, "Who's Quick Dick McDick?" And I said, "Oh my God, you got to watch this video." So I showed her nippy, and she was dying.
Yeah, I know, like it's good, but like, and that's so YouTube's like, hey, it's not a copyright strike. It's just you're being flagged with copyright, and any monetization that you do goes to the copyright holder, which is fine, and that's a safe way to do it, right? And that's why I do all the music ones. You don't make any money when you.
But that's what proves you're not doing it for the monetization.
I'm
you're
just
doing it for the
fun, right?
pure thrill of
straight up
of the creativity.
So Yeah, but I had one, and it was called Cancel Culture that I did, and they had actually taken it down, and I got an email that it was removed and everything or whatever, and you can contest it, which I did, which triggers an actual human to review it or whatever. And after they reviewed it, they were like, okay, our software actually just picked up something that it didn't pick up, and we put it back up. It's 18 restricted, which is like, yeah, it actually fucking should be or whatever.
Okay, so that's interesting, talking about cancel culture and how Steve loves Joe Rogan so much.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this recent bullshit with Joe Rogan and Spotify?
It's hilarious. It really is. I think the funnier
Which
thing.
side of the fence are you on?
Well, I'm for leaving Joe Rogan on Spotify,
Yeah.
but I mean it's just hilarious that a guy like Neil Young thinks that he's gonna like. There's just no way. You know what I mean?
Like, how many downloads does Joe Rogan have, and how many downloads does Neil Young have?
That's
per
exactly
month?
it.
Yeah.
And the thing is like Spotify is going to look at the dollars and cents of it and be like, there's no fucking way we're getting rid of Joe Rogan.
Well, and I think a lot of people didn't realize how popular Joe Rogan was compared to like Neil Young's a legend.
Yeah.
Right. And he probably thought that too. He's like,
But they can probably get his music a lot of other places other than Spotify.
right.
They absolutely can. But the funny thing is with Joe Rogan, I mean, at the end of the day, Joe Rogan doesn't need fucking Spotify. Spotify needs Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And like, I'm gonna straight up look you both in the face right now and be like, I'm not the biggest fan of Joe Rogan. I can't remember the last time I listened to a Joe Rogan podcast. I'll catch like a 5-minute thing where someone, you see what Elon Musk said on Joe Rogan?
You don't watch anybody else's
just
videos.
don't,
Me
you know?
neither.
Yeah.
And I love the content and the amount of guests he expands from right wing extremists to left wing extremists and everything in the middle. And he's talking about MMA, and then he's talking about weed, and then he's talking about politics.
He
He's
gets
all
a
over
lot
the
of
place.
perspective.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And very center.
Yeah.
It's like it's taboo to be center of a political spectrum now.
Yeah, for sure. And like, and in all honesty, I can't even really comment on that because I don't know enough of his content.
Right.
I just don't.
But
know
you
what I
seem
mean?
like a center, maybe
try to be.
leaning a little bit
You're
right.
malleable.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people in this province are maybe center right.
Yeah.
Steve, trade me.
For
I
this
see
one?
beer still there.
You don't want that one.
You don't like that one?
Yeah, I like this one.
Okay.
I like the lighter ones.
Yeah, this is the. But that's
Good. I've been
it's
out of beer for hours.
It's
I
interesting.
know.
Fair, we need another pint. When's everybody coming? 4:00. We got to be done by.
What
3?
time is it?
We should be done by 3.
That's a big watch.
You want to go till 3?
We got half an hour.
I have to talk
Steve
to my
wants
agent.
to talk forever. He wants our podcast to be like 2 hours long because he watches Joe Rogan.
No, but
he
I just-
watches all these other podcasts.
I just think you don't get to know somebody in half an hour. You got to talk to them.
But do you have to get to know somebody all in one shot on one podcast?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it'd be good for our subscriber
might
numbers.
never- we
if
might never
got
see- we might never
quick
see Dixon
dick
again.
back, like once
Hey,
a month.
There's been a few ladies that have got to know in a lot less than 30 minutes. So you know what I mean?
You should probably work on that.
What was our okay? We were talking about this, and we said we got to rate what was our favorite one, and what should we get a pint of?
I think that Wild Honey was my favorite out of the batch.
Wild honey.
Yeah.
What did you like?
I didn't keep track. I don't know.
What's your pick out of them?
I
Farron?
like mix them all together.
I like the IPA Pile of Bones.
White IPA kind of guy? Yeah. Really, eh?
I like the
What did you like?
tiramisu, but like only for like that size.
Yeah.
For an after dinner throwback.
Like a digestif, they call those.
Is that what they call them?
Yeah, let's just do a pint of something.
I'll get a white IPA.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So technically, when I put in that I was going to be sick today at work, I was right.
Sick tonight.
Can't believe you're faking sick at a
so
work to
you
do
are
this.
doing another show tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
Tell
back-to-back
us-
shows. Is that the first time you've done that, back-to-backs?
No. Lots of
Well,
the
he
trade
just
shows
said,
I do
like,
are,
the trade show
back-to-back,
that he-
Yeah, well, that's...
But
yeah.
it's just like it'll be a different crowd here. The trade shows really suck doing back to back because a lot of the people that man the booths and everything are the same people every day.
Same
So
Yeah.
they come in and watch the same show every day, and I'm just. But like it'll be a completely different change out of crowd here tonight, except a couple of servers, and I got to meet all of them last night. And Farron's employees here are fantastic. I mean,
They're
he's
the
just got
best.
such a good culture of people here,
Yeah.
and good clientele. I can't believe it's taken me this long to get to the damn smokehouse, and I like the amount of time that I'm spending here. So it's been pretty awesome. Sorry, Farron, I'm just pumping your tires.
I
here.
actually had to look Tufnell up on the map this morning because I had just assumed it was
Thank you,
somewhere
sir.
far away.
All right, cool. Space juice, Tang.
Oh, this is his favorite. I asked him earlier, what's his favorite beer right now? And he said this shit because it tastes like Tang and he can chug it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Tang is space juice.
You know what's a word you don't hear anymore?
What?
Poontang.
Oh my God, Steve.
You don't hear that.
No, we were listening to 90s. I was
There's
listening
a
to
good
90s.
reason for that.
I was listening to 90s hip hop all the way back from Regina today.
I even feel dirty with you saying it, which just means
It just says it like the whitest fucking guy ever. Okay.
stop appropriating his culture.
Did you watch the Super Bowl halftime show last night?
Well, that's where I was.
No,
getting
I
with
was
this.
here at the damn smokehouse doing
I know,
a
but
show.
you didn't watch it afterwards?
No.
It was amazing. It was I've watched a lot of Super Bowls and a lot of Super Bowl halftimes in my life. This one was the second best one of all time.
Okay.
What was the best?
The Prince one.
Oh, I love Prince.
The Prince one, it was about 3 or 4 years ago when they shut down the whole city and they turned it purple. Do you remember that?
Prince. Purple
I
Rain
don't.
is what Purple
was in
Rain
Minnesota.
is a song that I request all the time. And you know what I listened for my pump up song this morning in the shower while I was getting ready?
What's that?
Kiss by Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good. We agree on that. We don't agree on lots, but our musical tastes are actually very similar.
Steve was actually at a Super Bowl party this weekend. Out buying vinyl, like real old vinyl records.
Yeah, I got into
He's
records.
that dude.
I got into records. Oh,
That's good.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah. Do you see the amount of vinyl Farron's got on the roof?
I know. I was thinking of that when we were talking about this because he said he went to vintage vinyl. And I said, you must find some weird old shit there.
But I mean, you don't have to care if you're just gonna put it on the roof. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, I wonder what's up there. There
But
might be something you like.
I'm-
Probably Hall & Oates is up
I'm listening to I listen.
All Notes is fantastic.
there. We love Hall & Oates. Okay, for our Halloween show this year. Oh no, we did. We were gonna dress up as Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
We were gonna dress up as Hall & Oates because the one guy's kind of ginger, right?
Okay.
blonde.
Yeah.
And the other
He's
guy's
blonde.
dark.
Yeah.
So, but we ended up dressing up as Goose and Maverick from Top
Well, that's
Gun.
still pretty good.
Yeah.
That was nice.
But like I always like listening to Hall & Oates while I'm hauling oats. You know what I mean? So that it's kind of a.
You should do a video.
If you followed me close enough, you would know that I already used that joke in one of my videos. But
I don't follow you close enough.
it was my kid's video, I think.
Look
But
into these private
so,
eyes.
like you guys are talking about Super Bowl show and all this stuff or whatever, and I'm going to give you and your listeners a very very up close and personal detail about my life that I wouldn't share with everybody.
Okay.
I fucking hate watching sports. I can't.
What do
The
they call
only-
that? What do they call that? Not a not popular opinion.
The only
Unpopular opinion.
the only sport that I like watching is baseball. And that's probably your least favorite sport to watch.
Like I would sit in the stands and watch baseball.
Have you ever been to a baseball game, like
A Major League Baseball game?
Yeah.
Once in my life.
Where?
Fenway Park. I rode my motorcycle the fuck down there.
You wrote, oh,
And I sat on the green
by
wall.
yourself?
I rode down there by myself and met up with a group of people down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And actually, I was training to run a marathon at the time. So I
Jesus
actually.
Christ, like, who are you?
Oh yeah, I've got so many layers. I'm like a Sara Lee cake.
You're
I'm
an
a
onion.
A biker marathon
Layers.
runner.
biker slash cowboy slash marathon runner slash centrist slash.
Yeah, that's great.
And yeah, it was awesome. It was really good. Beer was really fucking expensive.
And they're huge.
yeah. Oh,
They're
yeah.
massive.
It was super good, but like I wouldn't go do it again. You know
I've
what I mean?
only been to one game, and it was in New York. This was on my bucket list. It was in New York. It was a Yankees versus Jays game in New York in the fall.
All right.
I always wanted to do that, and it was amazing.
It was good. Yeah, right on.
Although, like, I didn't realize, like, I've never been to a major league anything before. So we underestimated the amount of time that it took to actually get in get in your seats. So we were like fucking around, getting tattoos and getting pizza and whatever the hell.
You know what? That's what I always do before I go to a ball game is just get a tattoo, you know? And it's like, I'm just going to fuck around and get a tattoo for a little while.
By the time we got to our seats, it was like the 4th inning or something. So we kind of fucked that up, but it was the best day ever. I had my soft pretzel and my huge beer, and I was good to go.
Every single carb you could possibly consume was there.
Just carb loading before the big game.
And you know what? I misspoke because I will actively sit and go out of my way to watch rodeo, and I consider rodeo a sport. So
right.
I don't not like watching all sports. I like watching rodeo.
You were at Agribition this year.
Yeah, I was.
Wasn't that rodeo amazing? Did you go to any of it?
No, I didn't catch anything. I was actually gone. No, that's not true.
You went to rodeo, but you didn't catch anything.
No, but so Agribition's not a rodeo. I went to one. It was the first night. It was the only night I was there because I was there for the first 3 days of Agribition, and it started on the 3rd day. And I caught it, and it was really good. It was the Maple Leaf Finals or whatever, and the first performance was incredible. And then I didn't catch the rest of it. But I mean, honestly, if I'm not going to go watch it, like I won't sit and watch rodeo on TV.
No,
have you ever done rodeo?
It's got to be live.
Yeah, high school rodeoed. Yeah.
Did you rope?
Yeah, I was a roper. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Why'd you give it up? You weren't that good.
No, my healer wasn't that good.
Let me do this.
No, it's I actually high school rodeoed. I team roped. I grew up on a community pasture, so my dad taught me how to rope, and I roped in the pasture, roped at brandings and everything, and then we would team rope and we go to jackpots all the time. And I started high school rodeoing, and then I started working for a custom hang outfit when I was 14, I guess it would have been. And eventually I was like, hey, I'm guaranteed to make money if I work.
Right.
Not guaranteed to make money if I rodeo kind of thing. So I just kind of slowly eventually didn't have the time for it. And if you're going to full commit to rodeo, especially team roping, timed events where you have stock that you need to own and look after, you need to have horse, you need to have saddle, you need to have a partner, you need to practice, you need to do all this stuff or whatever. I just didn't have the time to do it. Not that I didn't have the time I stopped making the time to do it, and I kept pursuing a career, and that's what I did.
It's a lifestyle. You gotta commit to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if you want to be good.
Yeah, and it's expensive.
Isn't that anything though?
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yep.
You want to be good at something, you have to commit to it. You have to make it a lifestyle.
Well, they say 10,000 hours of doing something before you become an expert at it.
So
That's 10,000 hours of rodeo is a lot.
How many hours is 10,000 hours of us podcasting, Steve?
We're at about hour 48.
A little ways to go.
Yeah.
But you're getting there.
You're not even curious about how we started. You haven't even asked us any questions.
It's your podcast. I thought you were asking the questions. I don't know.
You want me to ask us questions?
You want me to change it around here a little bit? I am hijacking your podcast.
This is a Quick Dick podcast.
Yeah. Sometimes I'd like to be asked a question.
Welcome to Mike Talk with Quick Dick. I'm joined today by Steve and Andrea. Let's just get this out of the way. What brought you into podcasting? Where did this all start?
You're really good at that. You have a good voice for that shit.
I do not have a face for radio. I might as well have a voice for it.
Do you still do Gormley spots?
Yeah, every now and then. You know what?
How did that start?
It's just, I guess, Mr. Gormley. I'm calling him John on his show.
John. Yeah, your first
I got this joke with him. I always call him Mr. Gormley on his show or whatever, and it pisses him off. That's why I do it. But if you're listening, John, thank you. You already knew that anyways. But he saw one of my videos on a carbon tax. I think it was a protester diets or whatever. But I just kept putting stuff out, and he just it was hilarious. This is kind of when it was started, and I was hauling grain at the time. And he was at Crop Production Show in Saskatoon doing a live spot there, and their producer had got a hold of me, and they were like, "Hey, any chance you want to come on the Gormley show?" And I was like, "Shit, are you talking to the right person right now?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, shit, I'll jump on." And so I kind of did this little joke with him, where I was like, it'd be fucking hilarious is if he phones to interview me and I turn the interview on him.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever, and so I didn't tell anybody that that's what I was gonna do, and he just gave me a call, and that is Saskatchewan's biggest conversation is the Gormley Show.
Yeah,
and I'd listened to him for years, you know what I mean? And so it was kind of surreal being on that show for the first time. And he's like, and I'm joined by, and he's like, hey, it's good to have you on, man. I was like, thanks for joining me on Quick Dick today, Mr. Gormley. So I'm going to get things going right now. What inspired you to get into radio? And he's like, you know what? It was, hey, wait a minute.
Oh my God. My mom was probably listening to that. They listen to Gormley every single day. Doesn't matter what the fuck is going on. They're in Mexico right now and they're listening to Gormley every day.
Yeah, but like it's good, and he runs a good show. Lots of people like he criticize him for a bunch of different things, but like welcome to being in media. But I've got to know him outside of the show or whatever, and he's a really awesome dude. His wife's an amazing person, and a lot of the production team around in CKOM at Ralco Radio and stuff, because I've started doing some ads and stuff for some of their customers, has been really good. And yeah, like there's Sheena Roselle, Taylor McPherson, and Shaq with Rock 102, who now took over for Brent Laux in the morning. I was doing a regular spot with Shaq twice a week on his Rock 102 FM station at Saskatoon.
That's awesome.
And it was so much fun because he would just text me. He'd be like, hey, here's today's topic. And then he would just phone me. And we would just go back and forth. And some of the stuff that we came up with, like that guy, and I've crushed beers with that guy on several occasions now.
Yeah.
The guy's fucking hilarious. And like when you meet him in real life, like the first time I met him in studio in Saskatoon, and like we'd been doing a spot for a while together. And he's got like this black turtleneck on, and he's bald. And I sat down in the studio, and he's like, I got Quick Dick live in the studio, man. How's it going? I was like, dude, I didn't realize you look so much like Steve fucking Jobs. and you can go back and forth, but it's just fun doing stuff like that, you know. And to be honest, like it's fun doing that stuff. And there's been a tiny little part of me that I was like, if there's ever a next step of what I would want to do, getting into radio would be so much fun. Because I have fun doing radio with guys, and I think radio is very much not dead.
It's not.
Yeah.
Well, I've thought about this a lot. We've talked about this a lot, actually. Because you know a lot of people in radio.
Well, and the only thing about radio is you're very constricted to, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What
you are
CRTC
say. Regulated, and that's where what you guys are doing, you can kind of just do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, plus
kind of
nobody really not very many people watch.
Right.
So.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, you got to really be careful with government regulation and different things like that or whatever. But like, I think that's what makes it exciting. Like, and that's why it would be a little more of a challenge if you get into radio, because you got to be careful with what you say and how you say it. And
but that comes back to the issue of censorship too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And I enjoy live. Mm-hmm. Like we tried to go live the other night, or we tried to
go live.
We were gonna go live. I couldn't remember my Facebook password, so we couldn't go live. So we were just gonna. So
it's not Facebook 123.
No.
Okay.
It's not that. So we were gonna just do a video and upload it later, and we were fighting through it. Steve was fighting through it, trying to get me to engage. And I stopped it. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm used to going live. I started this whole thing out just doing personal lives by myself. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking to the camera and I feel like I'm talking to somebody. Mm-hmm. But when we're not live, I feel like I'm not talking to anybody. Steve's like, well, you're talking to me. I'm like, well, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
I feel like that talking to the camera is so like 1970s Walter Cronkite. But, like nobody talks to a camera anymore.
How old are you? Did you just reference Cronkite?
Walter Cronkite.
That's how you engage. That's how I engage with people, is like eye contact. Even if I'm making eye contact with myself.
Yeah, you're looking at yourself.
Yeah, I feel like I'm talking to somebody.
Okay, that is fascinating, actually. You know what I found? I very much despise just being. I've done. I actually won't do them anymore. Like doing a Zoom call or a presentation to somebody online. I won't do them.
No, they suck.
The only people that got one out of me recently was there was the marketing class, and it was because they had a COVID outbreak or whatever. And then Manitoba Beef Producers couldn't go forward with their live show that they had me booked for. So they were like, "Would you come do it virtual for us?" And I was like, well, I already booked it.
It's probably hard for you,
well, especially doing a comedy show Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be the worst
when you're used to having reaction.
And you mentioned it, reacting with the crowd. And why this is so fun because it's intimate.
I have not done a comedy show live, nor would I. I would never agree to it. Yeah.
But in my mind, when I started out, I was just doing lives just to the camera. So I can imagine the reaction. Yeah. I imagine that everybody is like loving what I'm saying.
There's your crazy.
Yeah, I'm fucking crazy. So I don't have to deal with the reality.
You did put off that crazy vibe when I came in here. I was like, oh fuck, she's crazy.
Did I?
No.
Well, Well, secret's out.
But no, it's when there's this really neat guy named Vance Crowe that I had opportunity to meet and got on a podcast of his, and he's from down in the St. Louis area, and he's done a lot of agriculture things in his life or whatever, and he was a comm specialist with Monsanto and a few different things, and he's a really fascinating guy to talk to. And he goes to a lot of different things, and he teaches people how to speak to people, or listening to opinions that you don't want to hear, kind of thing, or whatever. And I just every now and then, if I'm picking rocks or something like that, I'll maybe crank on one of his podcasts if something looks okay or whatever. But I don't listen to podcasts very often at all whatsoever. No. But when I was writing this show for stand-up, I was like, I'd like to hear a couple of stand-up comedians' perspectives on what they do.
Talk about the process.
Yeah.
And which is why I wanted to ask you.
Yeah. And like, I didn't understand it because he had this one, I can't remember her name. It's escaping me right now. But she was talking about how she was working on this one bit. And it was like a minute and a half bit. And she's like, I spent 2 months working on this bit and meeting with my friends at coffee shops and running it off them and being like, how can I change it and everything? And I'm like, how the fuck can you spend 2 months working on a minute and a half? I couldn't process it until I started doing this. And I was like, since I've done these shows and you go and do, once I had 24 under my belt, I was like, my bit that I do on Trudeau has improved 20-fold since I started it, because I now know how the audience is going to kind of react to it. And I might get 4 different reactions, and this is the way I need to take it if I get this reaction or that reaction, kind of thing. And it's like it all hit me at once after the show that I did in Aston. Everything that I'd researched and done and listened to people that just didn't make sense to me or what they were talking about, I was like, fuck, I get it.
Yeah.
And it's super cool.
Have you ever watched the Netflix series? Is it Amazon Prime, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
No.
Okay, so Steve got me.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
No, neither do I normally. But Steve does.
Yeah.
And he got me hooked on this series, and it's set in like the 50s, 60s, and it's this female comedian. Started out, her husband was trying to be a comedian, but she was better. She was funnier, and she was taking all the notes and whatever, and she started doing it. And what I take away from that series is the process, the process of like writing ideas down, working shit out, like trying it, bombing and trying it again, and different. It is a process.
Well, and bombing is probably one of the most productive things that can happen to you.
Like anything in life, failure is the best thing that can happen to you in life, in my opinion, because it shows you what you need to work on to get better.
Yeah.
And nobody's awesome the first time, which is why I'm fucking terrified of Friday
Well,
night.
and we're going to be in front of the guy that's going to be headlining is Kelly Taylor.
Yeah.
So
shit, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you should come.
I'm a huge Kelly Taylor fan.
Well,
That guy is fucking hilarious.
Who isn't? Yeah. I actually had him at because I used to own a business in Tisdale, and I used to do events and shit. And I had him at a stand-up, do a stand-up show.
All right, yeah.
And yeah, he was fucking hilarious. He killed it. Like talking about his grandma using fucking margarine containers as Tupperware, shit like you do that everybody can relate to. And I've been slowly like cataloging all this shit in my brain.
So he's got the cool thing about Kelly Taylor is like his stand up is hilarious, and like I haven't seen a lot of it, but if you follow like who that guy is and who he's trying to be, like I follow him pretty close on Twitter, and some of those shorts and stuff that he puts out there, it gets like shitty views and everything, and not very many. And I watch it. I'm like, that is the funniest fucking thing I have ever seen. You know what I mean? But
and
he's
that's something to remember as a comedian or as somebody who's trying to do something where your shit is well received. Not everybody's gonna like it, but some people are gonna like it.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest challenge and I'm just really lucky with it, because you get in front of an audience, and there's going to be, if you got an audience of 350, there's going to be 5 people that won't crack a smile the whole time, and 10 are going to yawn.
At least
or whatever.
5, yeah.
And they're not going to go home, and they're not going to get laid.
Yeah, but I mean,
no, they're going to go home and they're not.
But like here's another thing I'll tell you is I did a show in Ogama that was a fundraiser for the Deep South Personal Care Home. And it was great. It was a community that came out that was trying to raise funds for a seniors home that is not funded by the government. They're a not-for-profit or whatever, and they go off a rent from their tenants, and then they try to fundraise for everything else. And that is the shit I can get behind. I love going to do shows like that or whatever, right?
I actually didn't realize that about you till today.
Well, yeah.
You must do a lot of not-for-profit shit.
There is, oh man, I can't say the way that I weed them out, though. I can't say it online because people will hear it, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, well, we'll just book you anyways, so I can't really let that cat out of the bag. But I've got a little thing that I do to weed people out, and then...
Tell us after the show.
Yeah, we'll do it once we're offline, okay? But there was one guy there, and usually it doesn't get to me because like there'll be a few people that'll yawn and like I really watch my crowd, and there'll be some people that just aren't into it or whatever, and I'll just kind of stop focusing on them, and I'll focus on people that are having a good time to try and like run that energy. And there's this one guy, he just, no matter what joke I made, this fucking guy just would not. And he's wearing a cowboy hat. So I was taking it to heart because he's my people. And I can't make this fucking guy laugh. You know what I mean? And so I was just like, fuck. And the whole show, and this guy did not crack a smile the whole fucking time. And not that it hurt me, but I was like, fuck, I really wanted to make that guy laugh.
That was your goal.
And after the show, same thing. I ripped around. I tried to have a beer with everybody and say hi to everybody or whatever. And I got to this guy's table. And this fucking guy was like, that is the funniest show I've ever seen in my life. But like just in a monotone, straight face. It's like he had no emotion.
See,
and
you never know.
He's like, that part you did about your dad's shop, that's my life. He's like, that's just the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I was just
like your biggest fan.
Yeah,
now.
and I was just like, you couldn't fucking laugh?
Yeah.
Like, did
you say that?
No, I was like, do you have some kind of a dysphoria with you that... But no, he was a big guy, so I was just like, oh yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. You know what I mean? But so even though like when you're getting that off of somebody, maybe that's not always the
first
the
impressions
case of what's
people.
happening. Right?
So do you keep that in mind since then when you're watching?
No, because
What
that's the
happens-
only human I've ever met in my life that found something funny that didn't laugh at it. You know what I mean?
So I have to ask you this when you're up on stage, because I'm trying to get in your mind, because I'm like trying to prepare myself, right?
For your 5 minutes.
For my 5 minutes
There
of
you go.
fame.
Yeah.
When you're up on stage and you're serving the crowd, do you focus on the crowd, or do you focus on what you're saying, or like what is the dynamic there? Is it like Eminem before you go on and you hear the fucking Mom Spaghetti song and you're like, here it goes, we're ready?
Yeah, I vomit on my sweater every time before I get on the stage. Yeah. That's why I never wear a sweater when I'm on stage, is because I've vomited on it before.
On the surface, he looks calm and ready.
To drop bombs.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't really have an answer to that. I don't know if there's a specific thing that I focus on when I do shows, but like I'm talking like I'm not.
Do you feel like you're in the flow, in the zone when you're
totally.
on stage?
You probably go through your material.
I go through my stuff, but I'll kind of change how I do it and just kind of feel off the crowd a little bit on what you need to focus on. I'll be going through. I've got a bit in my show called Being a Dick. Excuse me. So, like my show is broke down into segments, and that's how I learned it. Is I learned it by segment, and then I run my segments in a certain order that they all kind of make sense to each other, right? And there'll be bits like this. Being a Dick bit is one of the ones where if you get the right crowd, I can go on for like 6 minutes making dick jokes about my name or whatever, and you can just kill the right audience. But if you get the wrong audience, you have to abandon ship really fast on the dick joke thing and jump into the next one. Yeah. And like that's how I kind of started working it. So I guess I'm always watching the crowd, but to see what they're liking and what they're not. And the sooner in your show that you can get your crowd figured out, the better you're gonna do with your show or whatever. Because you can kind of take it down that alley, right?
Like from the interview that we've had and what we've been talking about, you're generally a pretty adaptive person. You're able to adapt to any situation.
I'm like a chameleon.
Okay. So I can see that must be a valuable trait as being a comedian, right?
It is really weird for people to call me a comedian because I don't.
You're not in that zone
I guess
yet?
I don't consider myself a comedian. I don't know.
You
I
fucking
guess.
did a comedian show last night.
Yeah, I guess right now, which is it's super weird, but I don't know. I just I just kind of go and roll with it. But like I've always been this way. I've never been bashful or awkward in front of a crowd or.
But okay, take comedian out of it. Would you consider yourself a chameleon?
Well, no, because I don't have a tail and I can't change color.
Fuck off. Come on. You know what I mean.
No, I wouldn't call myself a chameleon. I'm kind of me. I won't blend in with my surroundings. Like I will be me no matter who's around, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
So you're a personality.
Yeah.
So like at a party,
yeah,
you're the guy talking and everybody's listening to you.
Yeah, lots. Well, I mean, some people are listening to me, some people aren't. Some
but
people,
ones that you want to.
You don't think that you tailor?
Some people are doing math over in the corner, kind of thing. And
yeah.
What kind of parties do you guys go to?
I was just gonna say, what the fuck kind of parties do you go to?
Hockey parties.
I have a joke in my show that makes fun of small towns and meth, and then I'm like, is that an okay joke to make at Nipawin? You know what I mean?
It's like their biggest enterprise.
But you don't consider yourself to be someone who tailors
Nipawin.
what you say based on your audience?
Fuck no.
Really?
No. Yeah,
well, in your earlier stories, I guess I could see that, but like in your latter stories, when you're talking about being a comedian, you got to read the crowd. You got to know what's acceptable and what's going to be funny and what's going to go over.
So yes, to a certain extent, but like when I do a show, like what I do, there's I go back to this roadmap thing or whatever, but like there's a highway that you're going down when you're doing your show, and then there's a couple of side roads you can take here and there to make the route better, or to make it more interesting, or to make it more fun, or whatever. But still, like I don't get very far off of the highway, because like what I said earlier, right when we started this, like when that guy came up to me and he's like, that show was real shit that you just did, or whatever. We didn't call it shit or whatever, but I was like, well, I can't just change the whole fucking thing in 3 hours.
But you had no other option. You had no other show at that point.
I honestly, I still don't.
Yeah.
It's very like it's a tailored show that I've got, and there's kind of different ways that I can take it to let the audience have more fun with it, right?
Have you ever gone like completely off the cuff, like just wing it, like we're doing right now?
Well,
like on a show.
I mean, but really, I mean, you could do this stuff like. Not disparaging you guys or whatever. This has been great. I mean, you guys are great people to chat with or whatever. And I think eventually if you keep at this, you're going to have great success with it, just because you're great people to talk with or whatever. Right. And there's people out there that want to hear this kind of stuff and listen to people just talk and be people kind of thing. But with something like this, you can go in any direction you want to whatsoever. And we can just sit here and have a conversation. And that's why when you get podcasts that do start getting popular, like Rogan and a few guys, I mean, he's not walking into something that's scripted. I mean, you might have a handful of questions, but that's just going to be a guideline, and you just go wherever the fuck your guest is going to take you, kind of thing, and you get into their life and what they're doing. But you can't do that kind of thing when you're standing up in front of a crowd. Like if I run my show that I've got from start to finish with all the material that I have for it, and like I just started doing this, so I only have one show, you know. Like you got guys like Bill Burr and all these different comedians and Chris Rock and all these different guys or whatever that are just
20 years of content.
Yeah, they've done like 4 specials and everything or whatever. But like,
so you still only have one show?
Yeah, I have one show.
No, come on, you must have a notebook full of shit.
I do, but it's a matter of taking the time and writing it out and being like, how do I fit it into this show? And the way that I structured this first show that I wrote is it all kind of webs in together with each other. But when I do my next one, I guess I'm like
in an hour.
No, but like when I write my next show, I'm gonna start doing this stuff where you can play it like Lego a little bit, where you can take your different pieces and you're gonna be like, this is a bit that I have, and this is a bit that I have, and
plug
this
and
is a
play
bit that
depending
I have,
on your audience,
and then play it to your crowd. This one kind of flows together, and it's not gonna go over good in downtown Toronto.
Okay,
or even even downtown Saskatchewan versus.
Going downtown Regina, this would not do good.
But that's what I'm saying. It's the small town mentality.
Yeah.
That is your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So your next new bit that you write, I think you should come to Tisdale so we can have a second one night stand up.
That's what we called it, the one night stand up.
The one night stand up.
That's pretty good. I can see why Kelly Taylor would get behind that.
Yeah.
I think you should probably commit to that right now. We should probably hammer you into that.
You're going to have to email my people and they'll book me through or whatever.
No, it was super simple. I just sent a message to you and you responded. And then I didn't tell you this, Steve, but I kept pestering him on Friday nights. I was like, trying to get a reaction. I was
so many girls just pestering me on Friday nights.
I'm
like, who's this Andrea?
It's Friday night. What are you doing? What are you doing? He doesn't answer till Sunday morning. I'm like, well, go fuck yourself then.
You know what? And that's a funny thing. Like I do not have any notifications on for Twitter messages, Facebook, nothing. I'm just like, when I get the time, typically when I'm taking a shit, I will like start catching up on everything.
That's when you've been answering me when you're taking a dump.
Now you're putting words into my mouth. I didn't say that.
Whatever. At least you answered me. No, but that's what I was like, what does QuickTick do on a Friday night? Like, I'm curious about, because you do a lot of media, you're a busy guy, you do a lot of shit. What is your social scene like? What are your weekends like? And he's just like, yeah, answers me on Sunday every weekend. I was just crushing beers Friday night, just like every Friday.
I was just crushing beers. Actually, last Friday night, where was I last Friday night?
Don't even remember.
No, shit. We actually went to, it's called Low Level. It's a snowmobile shack. That's like kind of a couple of miles north of a farm, Dagnall Farms around Foam Lake there or whatever. And we were up there and just had a fire and we were crushing some drinks. And then
you'd probably have more ladies interested if you would respond to the Friday night messages. I'm just saying.
But it's just I'm at Low Level and nobody's going to come out and see me there. You know what I mean? So
you don't know if the people there are guys or dudes because they're in full skidoo outfits.
And this sounds really stupid and maybe a little bit cliche, but I mean, in all honesty, I kind of have to be a little bit careful with what I do and whatnot, being like QuickTick or whatever, right? So I mean, in a lot of situations, I'm honestly very cautious to like.
You don't let loose if there's a camera around or like a phone.
But there's always a phone around is the thing, and I really don't care. But I mean, it's just like, you know, I get a lot of people message me, and you got to be careful with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Because some people might have ill intent or whatever.
Well, I'm just another one of the creeps. So you were right.
No, one of the crazies. We've been over this. Come on. It's been a really weird ride and a good ride, and it's been fun, and I like to think that, you know, I've been able to get some good out of it, and man, we've just raised a ton of money for a lot of different things, which has been. There's very few times I think in your life where you will have the privilege to have a platform to do something like that. Right. And I just, every day that I get a chance to be able to support something and for something to go good. Farron and I actually, did a thing for the Oasis Center here in Nipawin a little while ago. And it was just on a whim. Neither of us knew each other, and he put down that he was donating, from his lunch service and some different stuff. And I was like, that is fucking awesome. And I was like, hey, let me hijack what you have going on, and I'll sell some toques on it too or whatever. But like that put us in touch. And the first time I ever met Farron in person was last night. And he is exactly who I expected him to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just a good down-home dude.
Just a good down-home dude that does good things for people. And like, I never ever wake up in the morning and don't realize how privileged I am to be able to have this opportunity to do some of these things. And I'm very thankful to everybody that watches and listens and laughs and does their thing. And hopefully we can just keep that kind of thing going. I mean, the comedy shows and doing this different stuff, bringing laughter to people is really good, and it makes me feel good. It helps me just as much as it does everybody else. But you know, to be able to help with kids sport and health foundations and stuff like that or whatever, I hope that can continue to, because eventually people get really tired of being like, oh, hey, donate to this, donate to that, donate to that. And that's not what I want my platform to be. Mm-hmm. But if you've got some jing around and you want to kick some around, I'll be like, here's a cool cause and here's a cool cause. And I just wish I could get to everybody, and I can't, but I'm very lucky to have been able to been given this opportunity by whoever the fuck it was that gave it to me.
That's right. Well, Dixon, you're a very cool dude, and you're very generous, and thank you for the time that you gave to us.
Hey,
this
was
we appreciate it.
This was fun.
It is fun. It's always a fun time.
And the time flies by. We've done 2 hours.
Fuck off.
It's 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
We're going
to miss this first 6 minutes because of technical difficulties, but we've got an hour and 53 minutes of awesome content.
That's fine. Okay, so before we go off, before things stop here, what got you guys doing this? I gotta know.
Okay, well, I started doing lives by myself. I don't even know why.
I think one of the first ones I saw when you were like, hey, can you do something with me? It was like you were in a coffee shop or something like that.
Yeah, I used to own a coffee shop before COVID hit. I closed it when COVID hit.
Okay.
Sold everything, whatever. But I started doing like coffee talks while it was lockdown. Everybody was on lockdown.
Yeah, it was that.
So I started doing coffee talks where I was just like having a coffee, engaging with people, just talking to people. because that's what I was used to in my daily, everyday business. And then I liked the feedback I was getting. Like, it was making people happy. It was bringing them some joy. It was bringing me joy. And pretty soon I was getting up at fucking 6 a.m. to go do a live at 7:30 a.m., get all ready and get my shit ready and my lights ready, just to do a live at 7:30, just to talk to people.
Purpose.
On a side note, you put a lot more into production than I do.
Yeah.
I usually just get my phone out of my back pocket and record what I'm doing. Then people get pissy about my stuff.
But then a year ago,
the big thing was, to me, was like, it was legitimate COVID shutdown.
Yeah.
You didn't, like, your friends didn't want to come over for beers anymore. There was no coffee shop talk.
You know what? That was really a very different world then.
It was.
really was. Yeah.
So I saw this opportunity to hang out with Andrea and podcast. And
he was watching my daily lives.
And there were some people that were willing to come on and talk to us. So it's like, okay, let's talk with some.
And we had a lot of good times. Like, we would get together, we'd have beers Friday nights, just fun time. And it was just fun. And pretty soon, people were watching and people were engaging with it and people were liking it. And it was the reason we kept doing it. It was bringing people joy and it was bringing us joy. We just really enjoy each other. We really enjoy doing what we're doing. We really enjoy meeting other people and getting different perspectives and just shooting the shit. I think if we could boil it down to 3 words, it would be shooting the shit.
We love shooting the shit. We love chin wagging, all the terms.
Shooting the shit sounds like a t-shirt idea or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
That's awesome. Okay, so
it was fun.
Before we rip out here, keep doing what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dixon. Focus so closely on your views and likes or any of this stuff.
We really don't.
To be perfectly honest, the biggest thing I try to get across to everybody is, I'm going to do this. If you get 2 people that listen to what you're doing and you have 2 people that have heard what you do and it changes them and makes them feel better, 2 people versus 20,000 that don't give a fuck about what you said but watched it anyways is much more important. So thank you guys very much for having me on.
Thank you for being on. It was a great time.
A lot of fun.
Cheers.
Okay.
Now play our outro so he can hear it.
Listen to this.
This is the outro?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty sick. How good is that?
Real nice.